Ladies and gentlemen, good morning or good afternoon or good night, depending on what part of the world you are in. Today's stream is earlier as I do have class later. It's also probably going to be shorter, about 3 hours, because I have class later. Um, Although I'll tell you this, if I don't get to cover everything I want and there's enough occurs today, maybe there will be two streams. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But this will probably be our main stream of the day. If I go live again, it will probably be on Kick much later today. What's my major again? I'm majoring in communications. So like a useless degree. But yeah, we've got some stuff to cover today. Very sleep deprived as always. We need like a bingo card, okay? Sleep deprived, on, wearing black, check. Hair still kind of wet because I showered, check. It's a big list. It's a big list. But yeah, we've got. Do I like it at least? Yeah. Yes, I do like it. I do like it. It's very informative for understanding the nature of a lot of things because it's such a fucking vague degree. But I enjoyed my public speaking classes, which I essentially did some of in high school as well. I enjoy understanding like the dynamics of interpersonal communication. I enjoy understanding. I like media studies a bit too. There's a lot of overlap there. Who knows? Maybe I'll pick up a double major. But yeah. Stop bragging about your showers. What's next? You touch grass every day? It's not a brag. My hair's like damp because I got out of the shower. I don't, if you consider somebody mentioning that they got out of the shower like a brag, I honestly, I would never want to be near you because you probably smell like shit. But yeah, I also touched grass. I've been making it a point to spend a decent amount of time outside on the daily. Yo, did we just get... Hold on. Already getting one guide? Just drop out. Yeah, dude, just drop out. It's a great fucking idea. Thank you so much, Bobby B with the 5. Thanks for the birthday stream. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, man. How old are you turning? 50? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Happy birthday. Yeah, I've been hearing about this leaflet shit. I don't have anything prepared for that for stream today, but I'd be interested maybe in going into that a little bit. Okay. So to get us started, we have a bit more of some like normie drama. I don't watch award shows ever, but apparently I've obviously heard of it. There's one called the BAFTAs, I think. It's like specific to, yeah, it's specific to England. Like I don't know what the difference. I know that the Grammys is from, or the Emmys is for music, or no, it's the Emmys for television. The Grammys is for music. The Oscars is for film. The BAFTAs are they also for film? They're for, yeah, also for film. And I don't watch any of this shit because I don't need people to tell me what to like. I can just figure that out by myself. Although some of their like small awards to more obscure films, I think can get some smaller names out there. I didn't watch many movies this year. I didn't watch many new movies. Come to think of it, throughout the entirety of 2025, I did not go to the theater and see a new movie a single time. Like, actually at all. I don't even remember if I did in 2024. Who the fuck goes to the movies anymore? Because I wanted to watch... I remember when Oppenheimer came out, I wanted to see it. For some reason, I never did. Sinners looked okay. I wanted to potentially go see that. I never did. Nuremberg I wanted to go see. I'm probably not going to see it because it's already been out for so long. So I haven't been to the fucking movies in a very long time. But essentially, the BAFTAs were happening, and Michael B. Jordan, dude, I forget. I've seen him in so many. I forget the other guy's name. Fuck. I've seen him in. What have I seen him in? I've seen him in a lot of shit. I can't remember it right. Was he on Law and Order at one point? Forget the other dude's name. Hold on. We gotta find this. He needs the credit too. Delroy Lindo. Okay, I don't know what I've seen him for, but I've definitely seen him in something else. They were accepting an award for Sinners, if I remember correctly. And as this was happening, a certain sound was heard from the audience. Many viewers noted this. So let's see. Let's look at the clip. Let's pull up the clip. All right. Hold on. Sinners was Kino. Maybe I'll have to go give it a watch. I like vampire stuff. Is it a vampire? I don't even fucking know, dude. But it looked good. I saw clips of it. Okay, this is for some reason the only clip I could find is the lowest possible resolution clip you could ever find on a situation like this about a modern television broadcast in 2026. I mean, it might as well be. You can even see like the individual pixels. But yeah, this is the clip.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
Dude, just like the awkwardness. For those of you that don't know, somebody in the audience screamed the N-word and then said bitch. Pretty bad, right? Pretty bad. You would, in most cases, rightfully probably be shocked, appalled, especially if you're black and presenting in front of the whole world. This would be a really awkward situation to be in, right? But there is some context here that kind of changes the discourse, okay? The man in the audience who had uttered this derogatory term was a man by the name of John Davidson. And John Davidson, I think, had written, I don't know if he directed as well, this critically acclaimed movie about his life. I think it was called I Swear. He lives with Tourette's syndrome. He lives with the more rare form of Tourette's syndrome by the name of coprolalia, which essentially people with this form of Tourette's have tics that cause them to say things that are inappropriate or offensive in social contexts. So, for example, apparently when he went and met the Queen at one point, he told her to fuck off or something. I don't remember. And then at another point, and he actually portrays this in his movie, he had told a woman who had cancer that she was gonna die, right? Or at one point in his movie, a woman was walking by and he called her a slag or something. So basically, this is obviously a socially debilitating condition because most people don't deal with this. Even people with Tourette's, it's like 1 in 10 people with Tourette's that actually have this specific form of it. And this is something that makes it hard to live and exist, because even if people understand that you have Tourette's, right, people will subconsciously judge you for this. And he's been a lifelong advocate for his condition, right? He has been known since he was a child. At one point, these social effects drove him to attempt suicide because, I mean, this is like, can you imagine living in, I've read someone who was claiming that when he walks by schools, he'll, like, for example, shout that he's a pedophile. The tics basically find the most, I guess, unacceptable thing you could possibly say in any given circumstance. But that's not actually what you stand by or think or believe in or voluntarily say, because this is a real neurological condition and you have no control over it. And he highlights a good point in his film through the portrayal of the scene where he tells the woman with cancer that she's dying, right? He apologizes to her in the film. He says sorry in the film, and the sorry is a big part of this, right? he says sorry in the film, and the woman says to him, in this house, we don't apologize for things we can't control. Which is a good point. And an apology is given many times when you've done something that could have otherwise been prevented. Now, people do give apologies for things that they can't control all the time, like if you accidentally bump into somebody or whatever. But even then, right, that's sort of in your control. You could have been looking more keenly. There's not a whole lot he can do about this condition. And, you know, although maybe an apology could have smoothed things over a little bit, from the perspective of somebody who is an advocate for people with Tourette's syndrome, he might believe that an apology will completely destroy his message, because one of the points in the film is he has no control over this and shouldn't have to apologize for it. So now that a real world situation has occurred here, he might believe in his mind that an apology would acknowledge that he consciously decided to say this thing, which he did not, right? Now, this has caused a stir, because obviously the N-word is a word that the mere utterance of it by someone who is not black has certain connotations that cause, offense. This is a word that has historically been used to dehumanize these people. And obviously it's a very sensitive word, right? And people, especially in a context like on national television in England, still were offended, right? And I understand, well, obviously I'm not black, so I can't completely understand the offense, but I can, acknowledge it and know it's there and try to understand it as much as I can. But people who had heard this were understandably upset, and they have a right to be upset. But my takeaway is, you can be upset about this, rightfully so. You can be upset about this, but you can be upset. There's not always a clear perpetrator to blame for the upsetness. We can acknowledge that he is also a victim here, right? So although the raw emotion of hearing this as a black person, especially especially for Michael B. Jordan and his co-actor, who I can never remember the name of, but I've seen everywhere, right? Especially the emotions for them, this is supposed to be a big night, right? They're accepting a huge award, and, it's kind of interrupted with that. You can have a little bit of empathy there or whatever. But there's not always a clear, perpetrator or a clear person to blame, and we can offer understanding for people who have Tourette's, and we can offer understanding, for black people as well. But this has ignited a full-on war. I've seen progressives resort to outright ableism in its purest sense. I've seen, it's a total back and forth. So we'll cover this a little bit. To start us off, though, there is a guy who is also called John Richardson that is getting blamed for this, and it's caused some very funny interactions, because he wasn't even there. So people are running to this guy's Twitter. Yo, thank you for the 2 G's. Aiden, are you okay? Mind-wise? Have I said anything that would indicate to you that I wasn't? Okay. Anyways. There's this, John Davidson. I don't know why I said Richardson. There's this other guy called John Davidson who's getting, also, people are telling him to apologize. And he's having to interact with people all day to remind people that he is not the guy that said this. He has nothing to do with this. You made a name for yourself giving education about Tourette's. Never apologize for it. You literally can't help. I really didn't, David. That was not me. So people are still just flooding this guy's account. It seems like it would be a common name in England, John Davidson. Aiden, is your mind is there's something that's concerning you that I'm saying? Is there something that would indicate to you that I'm in some form of mental distress? I'm a little confused. Okay, anyways. you know, I'm going to try to have a balanced take here because I'm fair. Okay, I'm fair. The real person we need to be blaming is the BBC and people that run the. Does BBC's in control of BAFTA, right? Because they had the ability to edit that out. It occurred during a pause. They had the ability to edit that out, and I guess they didn't for whatever reason. Apparently, though, the audience was informed in advance that somebody with Tourette's was in the audience. And yeah, but let's hold on. We have some of the most mind-numbingly stupid fucking takes that have come out of this that supposedly come from leftists that are just, it is literally just like, you want to talk about ableism. That's a big buzzword that gets thrown around. You want to talk about ableism. This is ableism. Hold on, where is it? Oh my, I think Noid sent it earlier. I can't fucking find it. What was Ethan Klein's take? Hold on, Noid sent this earlier in Icy. Let me take a look. It was like from some fucking lefty account. It was actually so bad. Fuck. You put it in inbox. Ethan Klein's take from somebody who is definitely not obsessed with Ethan Klein.
We haven't gotten your take yet?
No.
We've been talking about it for like an hour.
Well, I do not believe. I know the guy can't control it, and I don't believe he's not. This isn't like racially motivated or anything. If you have a verbal tick like that, you gotta bring something to like cover your mouth or something, like the stuff, because you know you're gonna be screaming.
I was unironically partially thinking this. I didn't know what he's saying right now. I was thinking like, what would happen if you like. But like at the same time, like it's gonna be awkward to sit there with like duct tape or something like over your mouth. Or something, obviously. But I was like thinking this. I mean,
Screaming shit out, right? Tomorrow? Like, I know people go in the theater, and if they have like really severe Tourette's, like you have to bring a freaking pillow or something to scream into.
Or wouldn't the Tourette's not allow you to use your
No,
hands?
that's not how it works.
Not allow you to use your hands.
Yeah,
what, love?
Well, like if your body wants to say it, will you?
I'm not a
be able
zombie.
to stop yourself?
Yes.
No, you can.
Okay,
No, you
well,
could.
I'm
Yeah, you
just
could. Yeah, I mean, I've had vocal tics, not like saying actual words, but
Well, I think it's more of like it's not conscious. Like they're not
That's
thinking
not how
about.
it works. At least not for me in any.
at that point, but that defeats the whole purpose of his like movie. This guy does exist in public life. He has accomplished what many of the people there are there to be rewarded for accomplishing. He's made like a critically renowned film, right? To not allow him there, like you would essentially be saying like, you know, he shouldn't be able to exist in public life, but when that's like the entire message he's trying to promote, like you can have this form of Tourette's and exist in public, and he's trying to bring understanding to it. And as bad as this situation is, I do believe that people will be coming out of this with a better understanding of Tourette's syndrome. Even if like the discourse now is incredibly polarized, even if the discourse right now is super hostile, I do think we have a lot more people talking about and thinking about what Tourette's is.
The other person.
Yeah, like you're not. They want to be able to think about grabbing something and covering their mouth.
Yeah, but
ahead
that's
of
not
time.
how
I
it
was
works.
thinking too.
At least as far as I understand it, and everyone with Tourette's I've talked to, that's not how it works. You can't control it. It's like an itch that.
Yeah.
It's like an incredibly, an itch that gets worse and worse and worse. That's what it is. And you control when you like itch it, right? Again, I don't have Tourette's like that, so.
So he thinks he should be allowed to yell the N-word. No, he shouldn't be allowed, right? He shouldn't be allowed. But at the same time, we can offer a little bit of like sympathy, right? Like he has no control over that. He's trying to promote a message that you can have this and exist in public life. it's like, yes, sometimes if a disability inconveniences you, it's a part of maturity. If somebody else's disability is inconveniencing you, as hard as it may be, sometimes, yeah, it is like the mature and empathetic thing to do, to like exercise like a little bit of understanding. Now, obviously, once again, I'm not black, so I don't really know, how severe emotions are going to be surrounding this, but yeah, like in general, right? In general, like for example, I don't know, Hassan had a really good take in Inbox.
I don't understand if somehow it's that different that's involuntary, but it's not for me. And I've only ever heard people describe it like an itch that you scratch. And that's part of what makes the Tourette so fucking annoying, is that you are doing it. If it was just like your muscles spasming that you had no control over, I feel like that'd be less.
I'd assume the Tourette's is going to be super different for different people. The way it happens is I've heard it described as like the most like severe like urge of your life. Like, so I don't know exactly how it works or how it feels. But I know that by nature of its existence, it's probably going to heavily vary person to person. Even the form of Tourette's that John Davidson suffers from is only found in 1 in 10 Tourette's sufferers. So, although Ethan can offer a little bit of like maybe commentary on this from the perspective of someone with Tourette's, he has a completely different form of it.
Annoying almost.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like you're doing it to yourself, So, I could.
Yes, generally, I'd say you should probably apologize. The difference is this guy is advocating for an understanding of people with this disability, and although for like social, I guess, to ease the flow, the social flow, you should say sorry, even if it's not necessarily something you can control. But as an advocate for this condition, he probably believes that by apologizing, he's going to harm the community because it would be acknowledging something that he did wrong. And he doesn't want people with Tourette's to feel wrong for something they can't control. That's the entire the entire purpose of his like public existence, and what his film that got him there was essentially saying and advocating for. There's a whole section of the film explaining why he doesn't apologize.
I'm speaking out of turn, right? Because I don't know what his experience is like, but I would definitely bring a fucking pillow or something, and scream into the fucking pillow.
I mean, there's a logic to that. Like if
yeah.
If you're going somewhere where you're expecting to involuntarily be shouting slurs,
there was 100% chance that guy knew he was going to scream like a racial slur that night.
Yeah, he probably knew there was a chance.
Especially when they're like set him up for it.
Yeah, but I don't know about the whole bring a pillow thing.
Chess
Can't you cover your mouth?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but also, he probably thought, since the audience was being informed in advance, and he thought that because it could be edited, and I'm pretty sure there were edited parts, like it could be edited out, he probably thought this would be a situation where he could, like, he wouldn't have to go to, like, that extent, that extent.
A shot caller. Interesting.
I mean, you've done things to alleviate.
Well, you
tics.
can hide tics. Like, for example, I had this one where I roll my eyes back, so I close my eyes.
He could apologize, but he probably believes that's going to do more harm than good. Because once again, like, logically, like, yeah, even though we apologize all the times for things that are out of our control, like, yeah, logically, an apology serves to basically admit some form of wrongdoing. And he believes an admission of wrongdoing that would be contradictory to everything he's advocating for in his film.
My eyes or something to cover it. You can delay a tick.
Like, unironically, I saw different scenes from his movie. I don't have great understanding of this. I would encourage people to go watch his movie.
You're like, oh, I have to do it.
Yes.
I feel like you can.
Okay, well, the cough tick argument doesn't really make, because the cough tick argument is there's not going to be as much of a need to go through like insane efforts to stop that from occurring, like going into a pillow every 2 seconds, because the consequences of merely coughing are not going to be as socially significant and harmful as the consequences of somebody who has like coprolalia, where they're just saying things that are going to cause social offense and harm.
He could do it.
He could have Who knows where he was sitting?
I've watched these documentaries where they're like insane verbal tics, and it's almost like full body. They like even like to yell it out. Like
Yeah, but they control.
Based on, wait, I'm sorry. His point is to advocate for a disability that people misunderstand. If the reaction is people misunderstanding, that actually means that his mission has an even greater purpose.
That's part of the tic. It's the muscle movement, like the feeling of the muscle movement.
Yeah.
They control themselves. It's not involuntary. Again, if I have Tourette's, if I have what he has, that's the way that I understand it.
No, I don't know. I feel like he's been invited there, and he wouldn't have decided to go unless they like, we're gonna give this disclaimer, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and he would probably never have gone.
He thought that all the risks would be like taken care of by virtue of like the precautions and safeguards that were put in place.
Is my point.
Yeah, he never would have gone
agree.
if he
They
thought
must
it
have
was just going to be
insisted,
live,
yeah.
that they weren't going to get. I don't think he ever would have gone.
They insisted he be there. I feel like it had to be.
Yeah, it's not to say it's voluntary. You mean like it's believe it or not, we could argue that everything is voluntary. We could argue everything is voluntary if we like break it down to the absolute basics, right? Like you could, to avoid a situation, you could jump off a fucking cliff. You could, like, everything is technically voluntary, but at what extent, like, are you expected to exercise what is voluntarily in your control to prevent a given outcome? And he believes that people with Tourette's syndrome should be allowed to exist within public life, right? So to refrain from participation in this award ceremony when he has made a film that would earn him the right to be there just as much as anyone else over his disability would probably be a case where the exercising that voluntary decision may be harmful, may fight against what he's devoted his life to advocating for. And he probably believed that the precautionary measures and safeguards that were instilled would have been enough, right? Would have been enough. But I guess BAFTA or whoever the fuck runs it, it's being run by a bunch of like brain dead droolers because they didn't even think to edit that out. Now, obviously, it's still gonna fucking hurt for Michael B. Jordan and his co-star, I can't remember the name of, but there was like a warning in advance.
You know, but that's just my 2 cents. There was 100% chance this guy was going to scream something horrible.
Like that, black people have been a historically persecuted group in America, and that word kind of serves as the ultimate manifestation of those centuries of persecution, right? But simultaneously, to a different extent, obviously, I'm not saying it's the same thing. Simultaneously, people with this disorder were also a persecuted group in the sense of, I'm pretty sure people with Tourette's syndrome were institutionalized in you know, barbaric conditions. Their freedom was taken from them. They were ostracized by society to some extent. They, you know, still are. And you know, it's kind of, you have to balance it here. There needs to be understanding offered for both sides, but you have to kind of balance it a little bit, and to just some of the arguments people have been giving to like delve into the denunciation of the John Davidson guy have just been like outright like totally fucking ableist.
Probably the worst thing he could think of, which is the N-word to a couple of black dudes on stage. I'd like to know about.
He left after the incident. Maybe he believed for whatever reason, believed it might not like be as big of an issue. I don't know, but it seemed like he was. If he left right after, he was humiliated and didn't want it to reoccur, so he excused himself.
The behind-the-scenes planning.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'd be really interested to hear how that.
But clearly, they're trying to do some like ultra woke, like progressive, like this is the disability and all of its rawness.
You think that's what it is?
Definitely.
You were saying the opposite earlier, that you would just thought the BBC was just doing it for attention.
I think they rationalize it with that way. I don't know. I think there was some rationalization that's like, I'm woking myself into.
It definitely. I
really
was,
grave.
You know the meme with the guy with the 2 red buttons and he's sweating. It's like he saw ableism and racism.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
Then he clicked both.
He's like, how can I do both? Yeah.
Somehow they hit both. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he made it worse for everybody. He, she, whatever, who, they.
Yeah.
I don't know who did it.
But this situation, he was invited there, and yeah, I just feel bad for him.
They brought him there for a very specific reason. His movie was in there, and they wanted to be like, no, you get to come.
Yeah.
Or you don't get.
I feel bad for everyone here. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because this is his life's work to stop people with his involuntary condition from being socially ostracized. I feel bad because the thing is, I've read a lot of like the tweets from Black Twitter because like on face value that it's like, wow, they can't understand Tourette's or whatever. But the thing is, as I've read it, they from their perspective, they're used to people like affording no sympathy to black people that they have seen, public black figures that they've seen mistreated. They also another take was that people who have done this like in the past have been excused for various conditions, right? And some of the examples they point to, like, yeah, the excuses are ridiculous. But I will say, which is why they're not so accepting of this one. But I will say, this is like one of those times where the excuse actually probably is an excuse, like a valid excuse. Hold on, where is it? I don't know what was particularly interesting about Ethan's coverage. Like, for example, somebody tried to, apparently in the past, blame an incident on a spike in blood sugar. So this is why, like, some, like, black people are kind of, like, rolling their eyes at the excuse. But, like, simultaneously, right, this is one of those times where I do think, okay, there might not, this guy's, like, level of guilt is probably excused by his condition, and there should be, like, a little bit of understanding offered.
Let's get right to it. Players on an Oklahoma high school girls basketball team are speaking out right now. They're reacting to a sports announcer calling them the N-word after they kneeled during the national anthem at a recent game. The announcer was caught on a hot mic using the offensive language. Listen.
Now this case is different because his usage of it is very, like, context specific, and he's showing disdain, like, when typically kneeling during sports is to, like, express, like, as I've seen it done, solidarity with, like, the Black Lives Matter movement. So he acknowledges that and then uses a slur immediately against, but his excuse is even crazier here.
Wow. The announcer has apologized. He blamed the rant on a spike in his blood sugar, explaining that he suffers from type 1 diabetes. Meantime, some of the girls from the team talked about the comments during a press conference yesterday with their attorney, Ben Crump. Here's some of what they said.
I took a knee to stand against social injustice and racism.
Like, obviously, like, this is, like, a bullshit fucking excuse. And, like, on a surface level, a lot of people who have, like, who this slur, like, hurts are like, oh, they just see it as another example of this. But I think this is a good opportunity to start a dialogue and create a greater understanding of John Davidson's specific form of Tourette's, because this would actually be a case where that excuse, I think, it does kind of mitigate his guilt, right? People have a right to be upset. Everyone has a right to be upset. But this is a situation where everybody is, like, kind of the victim here. Everybody's the victim. You don't really have any clear perpetrator except the people that run BAFTA, right? For not editing that shit out. Now, there were some, I just, like, I love it when supposed leftists just, like, literally, they resort to, like, shit like outright ableism, because we have a great tweet like this. A brave and stunning take. Brave and stunning. If I had Tourette's, my tics would be shouting trans rights, vote, and Black Lives Matter, because I am a good fucking person. Wow. So brave. So, if you had John Davidson's form of Tourette's, like coprolalia, where your tics are specifically related to things that would cause social offense or things that you feel should not be said, then does that mean, is this a self-report that you don't believe in trans rights and think the expression trans rights is offensive, the expression vote is offensive, and the expression Black Lives Matter is offensive? Self-report? No, but like for real, like if I had Tourette's, I would voluntarily say these things instead. It's just, I'm a fucking idiot. Let me like virtue signal posture and publicly announce what a fucking moron I am. Tourette's is not when you just say what you're thinking. That's not what Tourette's says. Somebody with pedophile OCD is a terrible person. People actually believe that. Yes, I've made a concerted effort on my platform to educate people. Somebody, I forgot who it was. Somebody actually sent me a DM letting me know they appreciated it because I've tried to explain. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. I have OCD. I don't have that form of OCD, but I've tried to explain how intrusive thoughts work and why people with POCD are not pedophiles, right? So I've tried to, use my platform to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, no, there are people that actually do think you're a terrible person for having that, where if anything, people with POCD are people that are morally disgusted and repulsed by pedophilia, which is why that's the fixation of their disorder, because it implants things in your mind that would cause you emotional distress. That's why it is a mental health condition, because it would impede your functioning. So people with POCD, their mind finds, for example, the idea of them harming or being aroused by harming kids, right? And that's what causes them psychological distress. People like food shops have used that as a cope. When that is, if anything, if you know what POCD is, you understand that food shops' excuse that they were therapeutic, they were prescribed Lolicon or whatever to help them with it, would actually be like antithetical, because if anything, a big part of it is like the fixation, like, what if I actually am this thing? What if I am this thing? And you're like disgusted by it. I knew somebody who like the fixation of his was like harming his sister. That was like the fixation of his. And the constant thought is, what if these like intrusive thoughts are actually like reflective of me? And that's what's causing the psychological distress. It's like torture in your own mind, essentially. But the food shops being prescribed Lolicon, if anything, would reaffirm the insecurity. What if I actually am this thing? And cause more psychological distress. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, there's like a ton of misunderstandings about like medical conditions and mental health conditions. Imagine how rough it must be when they, I'll take one Lolicon, please. To us from G's. Aiden, do you have a sister? No. I had, okay, so this is going to be weird, and this is actually reported in some people. I had OCD when I was a kid. Pretty bad. And then when I became an adult, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I just don't deal with it. I don't have it anymore. But when I was a kid, my OCD was not based around like intrusive. I didn't have like the intrusive thought form. I unironically had a very stereotypical version where like I believed I just had to like fucking, I literally would wash my, like it was hand washing. It was literally mostly hand washing. I would just like, I would wash the fuck out of my hands. But that was like my form. But I have some understanding for people who have it. People don't just outgrow that, but they can, and I did. I haven't had it anymore. Aiden, what's your thought on the BBC censoring the word Palestine? Stop overshare. How is that oversharing? Oversharing would imply I'm providing you some information that would harm myself or would serve to harm myself. And if the knowledge that I washed my hands a lot when I was a little kid is going to create some like negative social judgment of me, in your mind, that says way more about you than it does me, because it's literally nothing. Who gives a fuck? I'm just explaining to you why I've like read a lot about like OCD, how it functions, and I've known people with it. Exactly. The tics just bring out what you're thinking on the inside. No. No. That's just, it's like, I actually get like, it's bots. It has to be bots.
Almost literally, in an attempt to keep the offending words private in his head, rather than public in the shop.
I saw a documentary once about an entire family that had this.
I'll get a big bag of potatoes.
Cut. Fuck it.
Get those weights, will you?
It's not always swear words. Sometimes he barks and yelps.
Fuck.
Anything else?
Hey!
Perhaps because John is an adolescent, most of his involuntary outbursts are sexual, particularly if he sees a young woman.
Football strip for William.
Yeah, like in the context he's portrayed it, he just says whatever you're not supposed to be saying. Like, which is honestly, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine how difficult that is to live a thing like that. Like, that is like hell on earth. For him, he literally attempted to take his own life as a result of it. I don't know what I would do with something like that. Can he just not do that? If not, can he just stay home? Have you ever been, for example, eating a meal and there is somebody with some sort of disfigurement that you encounter where you look at them, you can't help it, but you lose your appetite? That's happened to me. I would never think in my mind, this person needs to just stay at home. Because that's what ableism is. That's what ableism is. If we're now getting to the point where it's like, if you're disabled, you should not be allowed to, like, exist and live in, like, public life. People throw around the word, the fucking woke scolds use that term all the time. But this is unironically, like, what that is. I can't believe this is a fucking discourse. I'm in, what is this? People are quote tweeting this video. Listen, I'm curious to see the public's takes. What if the condition causes harm to others? Like physical harm? Then yeah, then yeah, that would probably be something, like, because the harm to others, they wouldn't be able to avoid it, right? Understanding wouldn't change the fact that somebody is fucking punching you in the face. But at that point, if somebody has a disability that is causing them to harm others, they would probably be committed to a mental institution, right? Because I'm pretty sure the criteria for, like, an involuntary psych hold, etc., is if you present a danger to yourself or others.
Never say Beetlejuice 3 times or Candyman 5 times in the mirror in the dark in the bathroom. Exactly. Hey, I have a question. Why is it the guys who have Tourette's never say Beetlejuice 3 times?
Is this a joke? This has to be a joke. This is a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Or Candyman 5 times in the mirror in the dark in the bathroom. Exactly.
I don't know people without Tourette's who do that. Because it's just like it's a very hyper-specific thing. It's not something that people, I mean, maybe when you're like a kid, it's not something that is actively in your, like, that you forget about shit. Like I forgot that, like, saying Candyman 5 times in the mirror, like, is supposed to summon him or whatever. But, like, people are literally saying, there are some people whose take is, How does he even know that word? This is not... How do you not know that word? How do you not know that? If you are an adult, you have heard that word at least once in your life. How would you not know it? Okay, apparently Warner Bros. Executives contacted BAFTA after the N-word was shouted while Sinners duo Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting at the ceremony. Per sources, the execs requested the incident be removed from BBC's time-delayed broadcast going out later that night, and were assured the request had been passed on. However, the broadcast originally aired with the racial slur not edited out. So this was... at least some of the harm. Now, the harm to the people in the room, obviously, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo might have, you know, been harmed by that. But the broader harm could have been prevented if somebody had done their fucking job. Like, this was time delayed. You could have edited the... You had one job. You had one fucking job. So now it's like this is something people have on the family TV and stuff. Like, the real perpetrator here is whoever fucked up on the end of not editing this out. That's the guy people should be mad at. Okay, apparently someone with Tourette's has come out and given their take. Somebody other than Ethan Klein.
Ignore how I look right now. Pretty great kitchen. I am not feeling too great. However, there is something I have been asked to talk about.
Part of movie making.
And that is going to be the BAFTA situation. I have been seeing...
Michael B. Jordan is I'm sorry, jeez. I love you, buddy, but there is no... You play it up, dude. You play it up. There's no shot you're this dumb.
A bunch of outrage about it. People saying, oh, well, why would that even be in his vocabulary? He did that on purpose and all of this stuff. And that racism is to excuse. A very sad day for the Tourette syndrome community, especially for the ones that have coprolalia, because when you come online and you see thousands of people...
She was exposed months ago. She is a fraud. Why do I hear this about everyone I've ever heard about having Tourette's online? Where was she exposed for being a fraud?
People hating on your condition, specifically coprolalia, because that's something that is already very embarrassing for all of us. I'm not going to say that people can't be offended by the fact that somebody said the N-word as a tick. However...
He met the Queen for MB and told him he had a bomb and fucked the Queen, and she was pre-warned and she wasn't fazed by it. Yeah, obviously it's going to be a bit... Obviously the context is going to be very different here. You know, it's much easier to disassociate from an insult like that you don't really have any personal connection to if you're expecting it and understand it. Obviously, with the N-word, it's a bit different, and in this case, way more unexpected, because you would expect it to at least be edited out. The context that this is occurring in is, you know, national television. There are families in the room. Black families might have, you know, their children in the room, etc. This is like a, you know, the real fuck-up here. The real fuck-up is on whoever didn't edit this out.
It's not something that somebody can control. It's not something that somebody wants to say. And I've been seeing a lot of people be like, well, he said it like when the crowd went silent. That is most likely when a tick is going to happen when you're in public, when you're in complete silence, or when you're trying not to say or do something.
That would probably make sense because you're not actively processing. other people's speed.
We must understand what coprolalia is. Coprolalia causes involuntary...
I do wonder if studies been conducted on this where like some noise is played in moments of like if you had like earbuds, for example, and like in moments of silence, like a specific sound or noise was played, does that like reduce the likelihood of a tick occurring?
Swearing and inappropriate tics. This can include the N-word, slurs, etc. I am a black person and even I have the N-word tick and slurs as tics. This is something I don't see many talk about because of situations like this. Is it a disappointing thing, shut up, that it happened in public in front of that entire crowd, specifically to Michael B. Jordan and the other presenter? I'm so sorry, I do not know his name. I wish I did.
Dude, same! I keep saying it! Dude, I've said it like 800. I've seen his face, like, so I don't know this guy. Who is this guy? I don't know his fucking name. I've said this like 800 times. Michael B. Jordan and the other guy. Michael B. Jordan and the other guy.
But no disrespect to him, I just am not too aware.
I think Delroy Lindo, right? I think I remember it now.
Yes, it is a very unfortunate situation. Seeing so many people say that they would invoke violence against people with coprolalia if they can't control their tics. That's ableism. The fucked up thing that this happens, yes, but it's something that we can't control. Aggression in the brain being triggered.
Dude, there are some actors, you just see them everywhere and you still don't know what their fucking name is. It's just like, oh, that guy, yeah. Dude, I always wonder, like, if I ran into an actor like that in public and, like, wanted an autograph or something, I'd be like, hey, you. Yeah, you. What was he in? I feel like I've seen him more on TV than I have. Okay, I've come to realize the only thing I've ever seen him in was like clips from Sinners. I actually don't see him everywhere. He's actually been in nothing. He hasn't been in anything except Sinners that is like memorable. He was on the Big Bang. Not the Big Bang Theory. He was in a 2011 American action thriller film called The Big Bang. I'm trying to see what this guy was in that would like lead to me knowing him. He was on Law and Order. That's where I know him from. It was Law and Order. I said it earlier. He was on Law and Order.
Shut up. And ultimately causing inappropriate tics. Michael B. Jordan and the other presenter have the right to be upset, especially if they were not aware. However, we need to understand and educate ourselves. And on my videos, I constantly see people saying, oh my god, so funny, if I had cursing tics, I would be laughing.
All black people. No, he's the guy that I said earlier. He was on like Law and Order. No, not all black people. There's actually a theory in psychology, unironically, that people, I don't have this issue, right? But people do, unironically, have a harder time distinguishing faces if it is, like, members of another, like, distinct race. So, like, white people do have a harder time distinguishing black faces and vice versa. The same goes for Asians, right? There's a name for it, but this has been, like, proven in, like, studies.
Laughing all the time, but when people actually have cursing tics, then it's offensive and they're a bad person and this and that, the third.
It's not that people look the same. It's just like literally, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's a thing.
We need to do better. We need to educate ourselves better. This is not me saying that people don't have the right to be offended. However,
yes, people have a right to be hurt by this. People have a right to be offended by this. I think that some people are interpreting this as, when people are talking about this guy's Tourette's, some people are interpreting this as, oh, so I'm just not allowed to be mad. No, people have a right to be mad, people have a right to be offended. But believe it or not, there is times where you could be angry, frustrated, etc., but there's not necessarily a clear person to be angry or frustrated at. There's not always going to be the bad guy here, right? Even though both sides can be losing and there's not necessarily a bad guy. This case, the only bad guy is whoever the fuck they gave the job of editing this thing. Can I leak your debate? I'll just say it right now. You could leak this. Parry apparently completely disagreed with me on my J-Stock debate. Because as I watched his coverage of it, he does this thing, okay? We're all biased. But he'll pick one side, and then when he picks that side, he will grant absolutely, like, he'll go through efforts to, like, sweep for when that one's... You could win a debate, for example, and have moments you lose on. But he won't acknowledge the moments to get lost on. He will just go to bat for that one side and completely interpret everything the other side is doing in bad faith. So, like, he did this, like, with the lyrics shit, right? Like, when he's talking to the lyrics mods, although lyrics was in the wrong, the entire time he has these people on interview, he's not pushing back on and criticizing, like, obviously, like, fucking shitty points and blatant misinformation being litigated on their end. And it's like, although you can be biased, right? I've never seen someone that just makes, like, that actually, like, goes through this much effort to be biased and be seen as such. Tell us from a bayou, it depends on how exposed you are to other races. That's probably true.
You can't be offended when a disabled person is disabled. I might make a part 2 to this.
Just tell Parry I said he could call in and debate me on it. He won't. He literally said J-Stock's mistake was talking to me. The thing is, right, J-Stock publicly litigated a piece of misinformation against me. So I don't know why in a community that constantly goes at other people for running, why it would be the expectation that he should not have litigated a refutation of comments that he made in a live format, especially against the person that he made it to. If anything, I'd argue that under the standards that this side of the community constantly enforces against others, J-Stock had an obligation to talk to me. And he showed up. He did. So, credit to him, I guess. But apparently Parry also justifies the entire concept of running. The $10 thing is a cope to run. I agree. I'm actually, you know what? I will say this. Kathy is getting better. Kathy's getting better. I'm not noticing this complete unilateral sweep for the people Kathy likes. That is true. Kathy's getting better. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, you could support us by tipping through the link in the description or Streamlabs. We are nearly 1/10 of the way to Streamly goal. If we hit it, I will be impressed. Okay, but that's for the most part, that's like the BAFTA drama. My takeaway once again. Hold on, I guess we could wait. My thoughts on the BAFTA Tourette's incident.
Black women with Tourette syndrome, I think, have valuable information to add to the discourse about the BAFTA's incident with John Davidson and Michael B. Jordan and Delroy. So I've made videos about this in the past. This comment is from a video that I made 3 years ago that's kind of active again because I talked about coprolalia, which is the tick in Tourette syndrome that causes people to say obscene things, socially.
This is 6 minutes. No offense to you. I can't. Sorry, I've got TikTok brain even though I don't use TikTok. In other news, real quick, Kathy's gonna like this one. I saw this earlier. The young Yemeni man who Ethan Klein called a Houthi pirate has refuted these claims, or called a terrorist, I should say, has refuted these claims, and in my opinion, under our standards here, Ethan Klein should debate sorry, I'm not re-getting. Listen, he's disputing it. I haven't seen the Yemeni teenager, Ethan Klein, he's not even a teenager, he's an adult. This Yemeni man, who Ethan Klein has made the bold accusation of being a terrorist towards, Ethan Klein should debate him. I appeal to and renew my call to all members of the LGBTQ plus community and all Jews and Muslims to support my case against Ethan Klein. He is racist towards you too, and he must be held accountable before the law. We are getting closer to achieving justice. I swear to you that I am living in the worst possible situation, and my life has been completely destroyed because Ethan Klein called me a terrorist. I will prove to you all that Ethan Klein is a liar, and that everything he said about me is pure fabrication. I want you to support my case. Every dollar brings me closer to this. Justice I have waited for years. Has it been that long? Hello everyone, I am Rashid Al-Haddad and became famous on the Galaxy leadership when Yemen seized it and asked them to lift the siege on Palestine and they would release the ship. Then I took pictures on board the Galaxy leadership and announced my solidarity with Palestine. My videos reached millions of views in the world. Then I did interviews in international newspapers, and I told them the most important thing is the Palestinian cause. They then said that I am a handsome young man, and I responded to them that this is not appropriate time to talk about beauty, and the Palestinian cause is the most important, and we must focus on it. Then I did an interview with Hassan on Twitch and Instagram. After that, the so-called Ethan Klein responded and criticized me by saying that I'm a Houthi terrorist and caused me many problems, including blocking all my accounts on social media. I was also unable to travel to other countries because I was described as a terrorist. Knowing that I'm a 20-year-old Yemeni citizen, a worker who does not belong to anyone, in all my interviews, I tell them that I'm a citizen who only expressed solidarity with the Palestinian cause, and this is what happened. Now I want to hire a lawyer and file a lawsuit against the so-called Ethan Klein. I hope that you, I'm sorry. Listen, he's ESL, so. I hope that you can support my case and all the love and respect to you all. A message from the heart. This case is not just a legal dispute. It's the story of a person trying to protect their name and life from defamation. When a person's reputation is publicly tarnished, they are left alone to face fear, pressure, and threats. Okay. Although, you know, I have not seen necessarily enough proof to label this guy a terrorist. I think $150,000 is a pretty big asking price for what you're trying to do here. And I haven't really seen any adequate evidence that, you know, although this would, impugn his reputation, I haven't seen a whole lot of evidence that his life was destroyed over this. Anyways. That's that, I guess. Now apparently Shud Logic leaked some messages from the Tea Party group chat, which for those of you who don't remember, Salvo Pancakes, the bane of the old cabal, had been in this group chat. It was like the gossip group chat for the old cabal, which I was never a part of and never included in, right? It was a kind of a messaging group for the old cabal. Salvo had been suspended on Twitter, so he wasn't in the group chat, but then his Twitter got unsuspended, so he could see the group chat, and he began to leak from it before being removed, at which point, Xylee Gets Real did like a 6-hour stream reading through the entire group chat to, I guess, like, be like, look, we're being transparent. I guess the group chat continued after this incident, and I didn't know about it. This was never mentioned to me. I was never invited to this group chat, albeit I wouldn't want to be because I don't like the idea of being in these, like, private group chats, because then you just look, then it gives ammo to the people that peddle the lies about me that I'm coordinating with the old cabal in any meaningful, at all, actually, at all. But some of these messages got leaked, and some of it looks interesting. Apparently, my name was mentioned by the Don. Surely, my role as a collaborator would be potentially shared in a context that everyone believes is private, if I'm secretly coordinating behind the scenes, right? Let's take a look. I thought I saw David post all the leaks. Did he remove his post of all the leaks? Or am I looking at David, are you here? What channel did you post this on? What channel were these leaks posted on? Pick a side, bro. I'm not sides cocked. I am unironically the last independent actor in this community. I'm universally hated by the old cabal, the new cabal. I'm hated by people and places you didn't even know were there. Okay? I am the manifestation of Tommy C's island theory. I am living on my own island right now. Okay? Diorio has me blocked. I'm on bad standing with all the new cabal shitter streamers. I'm on my own over here. I thought were they in okay, thank you, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay. Hold on, before we do real quick, I just gotta pee. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Real quick, I will leave you with, from yesterday, I will leave you with my debate with J-Stock. I just gotta pee, and I'm gonna make another cup of coffee. So give me like 4 minutes. Give me 4 minutes, then we're gonna go through this. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to like, sub. You could support us by tipping, all that good stuff. It's from yesterday. By the way, anyone who disagrees with me on the J-Stock debate from yesterday is welcome to call in. Apparently, there were people who had disagreements or said that J-Stock had won. All of these people are invited to call in, but they will not because nobody who actually disagrees with me ever calls in. Okay, this is my debate with J-Stock over his claims that I was collaborating. Or not, his claims that I was... I don't even fucking remember anymore, dude. Here you go. This is the debate. I'll be right back. Told Rita to not take the server down because I would be found out. I said, do with this information what you will. When Rita was going to delete the website, I said, don't do that. He'll know it was me, right? To be fair to you, you could say...
Came and said this, I immediately clarified.
Yeah, cool. Which is why I tipped Rita off. You would have to accept that I am publicly lying about where my allegiances lie.
So the Augie's
incredibly Gamma got Mira into a VC, then the second stage...
It helps him. It favors him. It helps him. I don't think it makes him look favorable.
Okay,
but if I said makes him look favorable, I didn't mean that. I would have just said it helps him.
Yeah, you said that multiple times.
He doesn't like it.
Okay, so we're gonna concede on that one. Okay, so it's now that it helps him, right?
I mean, it's not what I meant. If I said it makes him look good, I don't know why I would say throwing a bitch fit makes him look good. It helps him. He doesn't want the server up.
Yeah, no, just to be clear, you said it makes him look favorable. I think you said that twice. But yeah, that would be the implication of that.
Okay.
But I guess that's fine. I guess you misspoke 2 times. No, that is what you said. I don't know if you're.
Do you think that helps you that I misspoke 2 times?
No, I'm just saying that was.
You're just listening out.
Yeah, because it seemed like when I had misspoken the Gamma argument, you're very quick to interpret that as like a malicious lie, right? So it's gone from saying
you misspoke twice, did you not? Did you misspeak on both sides of it?
No, what I said first was Gamma got Mira into a VC. Then the second statement was that Mira joined a VC in Gamma's server. Not that the Gamma got implies that he was the one that brought her in there, which wouldn't be true, and that was the misspeak. Those 2 words, right? When presented with a clip of me saying that, despite not thinking I said it because it wasn't what I was thinking, I immediately conceded and said if I said that, that was not what I meant, right?
You said go to the clip because I didn't misspeak.
Yes,
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I just said if I did, it's fine. That's not what I meant.
Yes, because I didn't think I said that. And then being presented proof that I did in fact say that, I immediately made a concession.
But you were arguing against that without evidence.
Okay, no, I argued against. Yeah, so I'd argued against. I was being accused of stating something. I didn't believe I'd said it, so I said I didn't say it. And then you had shown me, you'd show me the proof that I said it, and then I immediately conceded. So back to this argument. Right, back to this argument. You had stated twice.
You staked out a position against Gamma, and Gamma told you were lying, and so we had to go back to check the evidence because you both were.
Yeah, you would also interpret that as a lie. You'd also assert that was a lie. That wasn't just Gamma.
Because you're willing to double down on it. You understand I didn't double down, right? I just said, okay, if I said that, it's not what I meant.
Could you think perhaps me asserting that I didn't
say... It's like a second claim happening, right?
Yeah, so you had said twice, you had said 2 times that I was saying something that makes him look favorable, right?
Yeah, it helps him.
Okay, so yeah, so saying it makes him look favorable and saying it helps him, those are not the same thing. Now, in regards to the it helps him...
when you came and said this, I immediately clarified.
Yeah, cool, I'm glad.
I was like, I might have misspoken.
Yeah,
is that a concession?
Yeah,
you said, that's not what I said.
Yeah,
that's not what I meant.
Yeah, you misspoke twice, it's fine. I'm saying...
Yeah, but I didn't say you're lying, I didn't do that, I would never do that. Which is what you did in the Gamma thing.
Okay, I'm just saying, right, like with the Gamma thing, that was an obvious misspeak, right? I just explained how. and the doubling down on it, right? It would probably be more likely that I didn't believe that I had said that if I was saying I didn't say it on a stream where you could easily rewind and verify that that claim was incorrect. That would be an incredibly risky lie that would serve absolutely like no benefit to myself because it would take 2 seconds, as it did, to prove that I did in fact say that, which I immediately gave a concession on. That was obviously a misspeak, which is why I immediately conceded. So I'm saying here, when you asserted a claim twice that I was saying things that make him look favorable, I'm accepting. That's a misspeak. I'm being
like
terrible.
two totally different things, but it's fine.
No, yeah, they're different things, right? We compare things that are different, right? The parallel is both of these.
We just watched a not so erudite debate, so I just when I see like the weird signaling instead of just having the conversation, I just pointed it out.
I don't know about your not so erudite. It's like your decimine rape. I'm not really interested in that side of the community, so I don't particularly care. What I care about is how you think I aided him.
Version of that.
How do you think I aided him?
You got the server taken down.
Okay, so I actually told Rita to not take the server down because I would be found out. I said, do with this information what you will. When Rita was going to delete the website, I said, don't do that. He'll know it was me, right? To be fair to you, you could say, to be fair to you, that meant like in the moment, don't take it down.
I literally just said, do we have proof?
Yeah,
like, I literally just said,
I showed that,
there, but it seems suspicious.
Yeah, I showed the DMs literally days ago, but I could do it again for you because you just like to reiterate claims without actually looking at anybody's statements on the matter.
No, I actually, are you aware that I literally said if you just showed me like proof that this wasn't the case, I would just say, oh, my bad?
Yeah, I showed the proof publicly days ago, but I could do it again. No worries. Hold on. So here it is. This is me telling.
He's trying to do the sly remark under the breath thing, but couldn't even get the zinger out. He does that a lot.
What?
Which is the comparison to not so erudite. Not so erudite and Destiny don't hang out anymore, by the way, so it's not really comparable.
Wow.
It's not like the same thing.
All right, guys, we're back. The full debate is in the last spot. If you want to go and watch it. Yeah. What people were saying I sound, dude, the contrast between my chat and J-Stock's chat yesterday was insane. And the cope's gonna be that I like run a hug box, which is just obviously completely false insinuation. Nobody disagrees with me more than my own fucking chat. Next segment, please. You're not, do you think it's like a remote control? You can just fucking, there's not DVR. You can't just like skip when you don't want me to cover something. But I also am not even on a segment. I was gone for like 2 seconds. Okay, let's go over these leaks from Tea Party 2.0. I'm going to go over it tonight on stream. The girls definitely knew Tom and people have corroborated certain stuff, but I think the bulk of the serious shit is unproven. Just remember, if you didn't have a video prepared at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning, you're already sweeping and raped and Hassan Piker. Yep, I saw it. Wow, dude, sweeping even for yourself? Lol from why is Xylee still like in the like if you have like a group chat for the old Cabal, why the fuck is Xylee there? Xylee is literally just like, what does she do now? What does she even do? She's like on fucking LolCow Live. Like as they like sweep for like they get mad that like Wings pushed his wife and like they like sweep for a pretty serious domestic violence allegation and keep Kid Behind the Camera around. And I was friends with Kid Behind the Camera, by the way, for years. And you know, I must say I saw the police report and then I won. Apparently, he like confess to some of it in the police report, but ultimately charges weren't filed, which is like super common in DV shit. Jelly as fuck. I'm not just in it for the money, albeit the money's the nice part. I probably would be making more if I worked for LolCow Live, sure. I've made $6 so far, but I'd probably make more if I worked for LolCow Live, but I'm not just in it for the money. The whole entire idea of just being under the thumb of somebody else would drive me nuts. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a control freak, and I like to be the center of things, obviously. And that would kind of not allow me to do that. Who? Wait, is this to Nick? Okay, got it. So, okay. So this is from Chud's end, and they had an argument in the Tea Party chat. Dude, ironically enough, everyone says I'm like a collaborator or whatever. I'm not even in the group chats. Yeah, dude, I'm doing like day ops and fucking like 5D chess with this, trying to pressure be able to supposedly take down websites for him and shit. I'm not even in the group chats. Bro, stop being such a whiny F slur. Holy fuck, man. Not everything is about you, dude. Don't you think it's fucking crazy that 0 big commentary channels have covered this? Not a single daily commentary okay. Depends on what comments they're specifically. Because I am fair, I'm pretty sure that, like, Nick could have inferred. Listen, this is people are going, oh, so you're back sweeping for Fatty. He has me blocked on everything. But I think that it would probably be fair, and I even said this on the stream when I was initially covering it. I said, I don't think Chud said that wasn't about Nick. This clearly refutes my defense of Chud, right? I'm pretty sure it could have been inferred that that was about Nick, right? Right? Who are you referring to here? Just curious. Okay, so this is gonna look like Augie's taking Nick's side here a little bit. And he says, you are, I'm pretty sure. Okay, listen, I can't sweep. I can't sweep. Okay, I cannot sweep. I'm pretty sure that this is, did I just, no, I reached for my vape. I'm pretty sure that this is about, that, like, it could have been reasonably inferred this was about Nick. Sure, other people might be implicated as a result of that, but I'm sure Diorio was, like, in his mind when he said it, which is fair enough, right? But I just own it if I were him. The thing, too, is, what I will say, it's gonna look like Augie's just sweeping for Fatty. Augie is very fair. Aiden? What? I need to see, can somebody show me, you know what would be easier? You know what would be easier? Does anybody have the original comments from Chud? What stream were this sweet? I'm pretty sure Diorio put that in his VOD, right? Hold on. Dude, Shelby's typing my name in all caps. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Hold on, let me see the original. Why I hate Chud Logic. Oh, members only. Did he put it up as a VOD, right? Videos. Yeah, why I hate Chud Logic.
I hate that I can't.
Here it is. I'm pretty sure Diorio puts the original comment in his VOD. Let's see this. Hold on. Before I take a solid stat, because I remember the comment being, like, pretty clearly about Diorio, but I could be wrong. So let us. I don't sweep for anyone. What was the original?
Really think I needed to do one, to be honest, because most people pretty much already agree with me. Before we get started,
check DMs real quick. What? What? Wait, code red. What? You should have led with that. What the fuck? Holy shit!
While I was in the hospital on the brink of death, a tornado of
the most pathetic man on the internet, and it's about Parry from the main channel. What? The most, dude, what the fuck is going on? I'm just gonna start this off because I'm not Parry and I don't making a main channel video on this guy is pathetic. Okay, I'll just say it. I hate Parry, but like this is pathetic, Brandon. Why the fuck are you talking about Parry on your main? Okay, I can say that because I'm not Parry. I don't need to like unilaterally only take one side or the other and like not give the other side any charity. This is like, yeah, fucking insane. Hold on. Dude, this is actually crazy. This is insane. Hold on. Changing the title. Fuck whatever bullshit we were just talking about. Makes a video on Purpleparrygaming. If this guy makes me have to, like, side with Parry, I'm gonna be so mad right now. I'm actually gonna be so mad.
While I was in the hospital on the brink of death, a tornado of retardation was brewing. The internet's attention economy has spawned humanoid cockroaches that will say anything for a few moments of online notoriety. Well, let me introduce you to the most pathetic.
Although we're gonna say W Parry, I mean this, like, legitimately. He's probably is gonna be, like, completely doxxed and bombarded. Like, unironically, because he put this on his main. I hope that, like, Parry is ready for that. People are going to be going through all of his old VODs and looking for shit to report. They're going to be looking for his docs now. Obviously, I completely am against all of those things, just so we're clear. But if I were Parry right now, I'd be getting prepared for all of that. You've just hit the mainstream in a controversial manner. Like, get your shit locked down.
Pathetic man on the internet. His name is Purpleparrygaming. On the same day that I informed my audience that my heart, liver, and kidneys were all failing, this desperate loser took to Twitter to say this. Insane. YouTuber and rapper at Buckingham show exposed for faking his hospital GoFundMe scare, recording in a possibly fake...
I'm in total disbelief right now. I'm in total fucking... I, like, can't believe this is actually happening.
Hospital set, not showing medical documents regarding his condition. And attached is a video of him soy jacking about my IV pump that is battery powered, not being plugged in.
Dude, look at the dude. Dude, holy shit.
Well, also, even on this point, which Parry tried to seriously defend with me, the other monitor was on. The other monitor was clearly on, the one adjacent to that.
Plugged in.
Dude, look at the dude.
And there wouldn't be a purpose in having two on at the same time.
Dude, holy shit. It's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in.
And this tweet is by far his most successful, gaining over 4 million views, showing just how stupid the algorithm really is. He followed that up by posting a photo of my wife and daughter saying, "Brandon, we will be running a train on your wife once you kick the bucket to keep her company."
Whoa! Whoa! Bringing photos of people's wives into things is too fucking far. What was this guy doing? What the fuck was this guy thinking? We here on the Aiden Underground channel completely was it, surely he censored it. He censored it. Okay, I'm pretty sure Parry censored this. Parry did censor this because look, it even ends at the cutoff of where the Twitter photo is. So yeah, to say that he just included a photo and didn't include the censor would probably be a lie by omission, right? Because it's not an actual photo, or the photo is censored. Still, this is obviously a fucking insane thing to say in a public context. If you're like, especially bringing the like this is an insane thing to say in a public context, but like simultaneously, obviously it's different if you're like in private amongst shitters and being an edgelord. But obviously to post even the censored photo and say, yeah, it's like probably a joke that's not going to make you look great. Has he done anything necessarily morally wrong by doing that? No. But this is what's going to get Parry, like, they're going to be looking for his docs. Somebody who knows about this shit needs to be DMing Parry and telling him and educating him on how to get his shit locked down. Okay? If you like Parry, that's what you'd be doing right now. Because this, I'm telling you, because he's bringing up his wife and daughter now, people are going to go into full rape Krieg, ruin this guy's life mode. And Parry doesn't really have the audience to fight back. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. I honestly, as much as I despise Parry, I think that this is, like, pretty pathetic.
Choo-choo. As well as, your kid looks mentally disabled. I don't know why you feel comfortable posting pics of him online. Call a doctor about him.
Yeah, he's gonna, honestly. Yeah, he's fucked. He's actually fucked. He's fucked. Because, yes, although we all know this is a joke, outside of our little bubble, this looks bad to them, right? This looks bad to them, and as a result, talking merely, not speaking morally, I'm saying in the outcome for Parry right now, I would you need to just like whatever, cancel your plans for the day, cancel your plans for the next 5 days, okay? And you need to be I even warned Parry about this once. I said to him, you need to be prepared by virtue of being controversial online. You need to be prepared for pissing off the wrong crowd and having them go nuclear on your ass.
Before it's too late. Mind you, I have never interacted with this Maltese manlet a single time in my entire life. He is saying all this solely because he is desperate for my attention. So today we're going to be addressing this lying freak who has been groveling
So
at
today we're going to be giving that attention to him.
my feet for 12 weeks.
You could say W. Parry in regards to he now has content. I am telling you right now, with the size of this guy's audience, any content benefit to his name being mentioned here is going to be outweighed by what's coming.
Weeks straight like an attention-starved pig. But first, let me tell you about...
First, he needs to private every single VOD. Every single VOD. Because I know that he has said some TOS shit in his VODs that would technically be TOS, but like normally it doesn't get reported until so... He needs to private every VOD right now, okay? He probably is... It probably wouldn't be hiding or whatever, but like temporarily at least, yeah, he needs to private every single VOD on his channel right now. At the bare minimum.
This awesome company that has been helping me recover from being the sickest I've ever been in my entire life.
If he does not do that, his channel will be gone. His channel will be gone by the end of the week.
After I got out of the ICU, I could barely walk or move my arms, and I didn't have health insurance until January 1st. But luckily, Merrick was there to help me get better. They ordered extensive blood work for me and gave me a dedicated health coach along with a licensed team of clinicians to evaluate my blood work and provide me with the supplements I need to optimize my recovery. Also, I had been vomiting for months, and Merrick did a comprehensive evaluation of my GI tract and prescribed me the proper treatments to actually stop my nausea and vomiting. Most doctors dismissed my symptoms, but the team helped me get better. And I didn't have health in my entire life. After I got out of the ICU, I could barely walk or move my arms, and I didn't have health insurance until January 1st. But luckily, Merrick was there to help me get better. They ordered extensive blood work for me and gave me a dedicated health coach.
Although I think this is like obviously on Brandon's end, although I can maybe understand some of this, I think that this is going to be disproportionate. I think that Parry's absolutely fucked. But although I hate Parry and I don't like Brandon, I don't want to say I feel bad for Parry because he knew what he was signing up for by saying this publicly online, especially when he was initially getting notoriety for it. He knew exactly what he was signing up for here and what that risked. So I'm not going to say I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm just like trying to comprehend how fucked this guy is right now, whether rightfully or whether right or wrong. And no, it is wrong. How fucked he's going to be is wrong, because nothing he said is going to be deserving of what he's going to get. But I am like trying to wrap my mind around it right now in the extent of like, dude, this guy is so fucked. Obviously I don't like Parry, but I don't want to see him, I don't want to see his life ruined, right? I don't want to see his fucking life ruined.
Along with a licensed team of clinicians to evaluate my blood work and provide me with the supplements I need to optimize my recovery. Also, I had been vomiting for months, and Merrick did a comprehensive evaluation of my GI tract and prescribed me the proper treatments to actually stop my nausea and vomiting.
Aiden, screw Parry, he literally pissed off. Yes, I know if it was my downfall, he'd probably be celebrating. Yeah, I know. But no, I'm not like I'm not 15 years old anymore. I can be like the bigger person. And yeah, I think that Parry is like in for a fucking wild ride. I think that there should be people who care about him that should unironically be helping him like get his shit locked down to avoid the obvious risks that are coming now. Because it's going to be in people's mind that he went after Brandon's family, even though Parry had blurred the screenshots, but Brandon doesn't specify that the blur was added on his end. And I think that, yeah, I'm just gonna like, I'm the bigger person. I'm not celebrating this. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this because I would want to get a W over Parry by virtue of, you know, winning on argument, not what he's gonna get here.
Most doctors dismissed my symptoms, but thankfully, Merrick has been there to give me real answers that actually work. I have truly enjoyed working with Merrick Health and strongly recommend anyone who wants to optimize their health to check them out. Now, back to Purple Pussy Gaming. This guy has made 7 videos and live streams on his channel with my name in the title, with his most popular video by far being this one, titled, Why You Shouldn't Donate to Brandon Buckingham. And the thumbnail is a picture of me with the words liar, fraud, and incubated on it. A lot of my friends over on Patreon messaged me this video and told me that they wanted to see me react to it. Apparently it came out while I was in the hospital, so I figured I would go outside, get some sun, and see what this dumbass has to say about me. Let's get into it.
What the fuck is this? Is this like the director?
Wait, what? Hold on.
A lot of my friends over on Patreon messaged me this video, liar, fraud, donate to, with his most popular.
He actually made 8 videos because he has a video called Debating Like a Deranged Brandon Buckingham Fan. No, wait! It's here! Bro! I'm labeled as a Brandon Buckingham fan in this. This is his debate with me. Where Parry seriously tries to defend the plugged-in point.
This guy has made 7 videos.
I've been I don't mean this in like a brag type context. They're like my face or my existence pops up in tons of big videos by virtue of I don't know. I'm just like the Fallen Chungus shit. Like I make a 2-second appearance in the Tom video or some shit.
Live streams.
This does nothing
On his channel with my name in the title. With his
I don't really want Brandon's viewership because I think they're all like reactionaries and shit.
Most popular video by far being this one, titled Why You Shouldn't Donate to Brandon Buckingham. And the thumbnail is a picture.
But you feel bad for this guy? Yes. Is Parry probably a sociopath? Unironically, yes. Is Parry a horrible person? Yes. Is Parry a liar? Yes. Would Parry piss on my grave? Yes. Would Parry revel in my downfall? Would Parry pretend to be my friend and apologetic 1 minute and then revel in my downfall the next? Yes! I still don't want to see his fucking life destroyed.
Picture of me with the words liar, fraud, and incubated on it. A lot of my friends over on Patreon messaged me this video and told me that they wanted to see me react to it. Apparently it came out while I was in the hospital, so I figured.
Like, because the thing is, yeah, you can say AW, you don't realize, like, if it's not setting, you don't realize, like, how fucked this guy is. It's like, unironically, like, he is so fucked.
I would go outside, get some sun, and see what this dumb.
And he's not gonna have anyone come to bat for him either. Like, although, like, I'm not that much bigger than him, if someone was, like, coming at me with this big of a platform, there would be people with other bigger platforms that would probably, at least a few, come to my defense, right? I'd have something to stand on. In this instance, he has nothing. He has absolutely nothing.
Has to say about me. Let's get into it.
What the fuck is this? Is this like the director? Is this the like owner of the hospital set that you're using? He's like watching to make sure that you guys
Whenever
aren't
you're watching a clip that Brandon shows, or a tweet that he may dishonestly portray, or emphasize certain portions of, think to yourself right now, what would some shitter in Brandon Buckingham's audience, who knows nothing about our community, etc., what would they be thinking? And that helps you understand how fucked he is.
Think a set of a big hospital?
Never asked for help before, but my heart is currently only working at 15 to 20%.
Oh yeah? Is that what the unplugged medical equipment is saying? 15 to 20%?
So yeah, the first 52 seconds of his video is a coming up teaser, which is just a compilation of all the stupidest things he says in the video, I'm assuming.
The worst part is, if Parry was like a troll, like this is the thing, Parry's a troll to the extent of like, yeah, people find him funny. But no, Parry did seriously try to argue for these points. He presents what he is saying many times as serious coverage, his actual opinion. So although we might find some of it funny, he does seriously argue this shit. I don't think he actually believes a lot of it, but he does argue for it.
He says my IV pump isn't plugged in. Yeah, I guess he's saying it's a fake hospital.
No, there's no positive angle to Parry's favor. I called him in. I called into him and debated him on this. There isn't a positive angle. I think he didn't believe what he was saying and was knowingly like lying about his position for viewership, right? I think he was being dishonest. I think he did sign up for this. Even though he signed up for it, even though this was the risk, I still sort of feel a little bad. A little bad.
I think he showed an image of my dad and asked if it was the hospital director, which is just...
Also, have we seen any proof that he's abusing drugs? I haven't seen anything about that.
I mean, so far, that was just really stupid. I don't know.
Medical City Healthcare. What kind of fucking name is Medical City Healthcare? That's like saying, this is the doctor hospital. This is the health hospital. What?
It's a verifiable...
Is this even a real hospital, man?
Yes.
Is this like some
Yes, it's several real hospitals.
fucking set in some fucking TV show?
All right, dude. This might be hard to get through. Why would it be a set? Why would I be on a set?
Also, it made less sense when there are pictures of multiple hospital rooms. So they're arranging multiple sets, buying medical equipment, which is expensive, or renting it, which is expensive. At this point, the amount of money that Brandon, under Perry's argument of how the whole hospitalization could have been faked, Brandon would have been spending more money than he was getting. Because, at one point, Perry was arguing they had, a screen put up to make it look like a window to the outside. He didn't actually believe any of this, but Perry doesn't believe... When Perry is, saying shit, for example, about me, he doesn't believe any of it, but he will pretend like he does and argue for it as if he does.
Yeah, Medical City Healthcare is a part of the Medical
Tom's ex on Kiwi Farms confirmed information. What do you mean?
City Dallas healthcare system. So you can just kind of Google it. I didn't invent the hospital. And yeah, I guess they have branded cups.
An 11-month-old baby who is...
Baby, why does it matter? It's insane.
You can rent sets, but no, legitimate company with access to, medical equipment that is all, this legit. They're not going to, knowingly participate in, a clear act of fraud.
Why does it matter that you have a fucking kid? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, retard.
He didn't think it was fake. That's the point. Perry doesn't care about anything. He cares about nothing. He will pick Perry has a target audience he wants to appeal to. That argument is the new commentary viewership community. He'll pick an angle that he thinks that community will find funny or agree with, and he will litigate it if he believes it or not. Right? So if he got positive reception initially for questioning Brandon, he'll go more extreme with it, right? I used to think Perry was brave for being a free thinker and a contrarian. I then realized that all of Perry's takes actually completely align with the audience he's attempting to appeal to, because he doesn't actually try for more mainstream growth or outreach, and that's I lost respect for him because I'm yeah, this dude is literally just sides cock, doesn't actually say what he believes, to us, these don't look like safe takes. To the community that he was attempting to appeal to, these are all safe takes.
Do your fucking job. Get your fucking wife to open an OnlyFans, you stupid piece of shit. You stupid fucking retard. Put some fucking work in. Don't make me fucking put your bill for your fucking degenerate fucking drug-addled retard fucking Los Angeles fucking networking lifestyle.
Oh, he's saying my wife should start an OnlyFans. What's this guy's deal? What's wrong with this guy? Hopefully everyone from Malta isn't like this. People from...
They're not. They're not. They're not. If you actually want an answer, I legitimately have, once again, as well as people who like Perry, I am legitimately convinced this dude is some shade of sociopath. If you were there, had spoken to this guy on a personal level, had seen the lengths he would go to gain your trust and then so flagrantly violate it in manners that, by the way, are completely for example, most people would have paused going through someone else's computer. He's brazen about it. That kind of worry isn't there. Same thing with Perry has legitimately assaulted 2 women. That's not a meme. His friend had told me about one of those stories. Perry has physically, his friend has confirmed one of those stories. So it has been confirmed to me that Perry has legitimately assaulted 1 woman. And then according to him, there was a second. I don't know what that was about. That's not a meme. That's outside of the bit. This guy's legitimately broke a woman's nose. there is something obviously very fucking wrong with this guy that's not just like funny troll.
Malta should disavow this guy because this is a bad representation of your country.
My beautiful wife. My beautiful stay-at-home wife. Oh, she's a stay-at-home wife, so she's not busy. Open up an OnlyFans. Get her to open up an OnlyFans. Get your wife to spread her fucking legs so Chris Denark
and he's not legitimately sorry about anything. Ever.
can foot the bill for your fucking surgery.
In some countries, you get killed over saying something like that. I think that when someone is this stupid and hateful and just miserable, all you could do is like hit.
He will fake being genuine to get. For example, when I didn't want him going on the England trip, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll just say this right now. Dickers bitched to me about Parry in private multiple times and would say, I don't know why people in the community are willing to associate with Parry when he's associating with ZV, right? And Dickers bitched about this repeatedly. Although I had personal issue with Parry coming on the UK trip, my assumption is by bringing him there, it would be awkward with Dickers too, and they had ongoing beef. So I had actually kind of underemphasized my disdain, and potentially, I don't think I overemphasized Dickers' disdain, but I just said to Parry, for the reason not coming on the, I'm going to see Dickers, it would be awkward, etc. Which Parry claims is like a lie now. No, Dickers did legitimately in private get angry over my association, others' associations with Parry at one point. And then I called Parry. He took absolutely no responsibility, went off on me in this private call where I'm trying to explain it to him. And then he sends me this DM. And I'm pretty sure, have I leaked this? I assumed, this was the DM he sends me. It was, hi, and sorry for how I handled the call yesterday. I was drunk and had assumed you were joking and messing with me the first half of it. Up until now, I didn't realize how you felt about me telling a story. Oh, yeah, I'd also told them, I'm not going on this trip for content. I don't want every aspect of it being publicized. I didn't realize how you felt about me telling stories about when we met up in Malta and about me mentioning this I took. I thought you were playing up being annoyed as a joke. Know that I realized you were upset about the situation the whole time. I want to apologize. I'm sorry for acting this way, making jokes, etc. I didn't realize the impact it would have. At any rate, it's fair enough you don't want to meet up with me in the UK. I just wish you would have told me how you felt about everything sooner, but I'm sorry for blowing up about it in that call. So he ends up coming on the UK trip, never expresses he has an issue with me, while supposedly coming to the conclusion that he now hates me, right? And actually does the opposite of everything he said here, right? Because he has this issue with me, never brings it up to my face. Never, okay? He never brings it up to my face. Publicizes every aspect of the trip. Apparently at one point was going through my bathroom and shit, looking for stuff he could publicize. So this was just in hindsight, you realize just how dishonest this guy is. And genuinely, he does not have any empathy or legitimate remorse.
For you?
Get a job, you fucking deadbeats. Get a job, you lazy loser.
So I provide for. 4 days ago, I woke up.
I provide for her. She's disabled. She can't. No, get her.
You have to admit that's hilarious. Yeah, I think some of you are completely standardless and would be fine letting a rapist in this community if he was funny. Yeah, standards do have to be enforced at some point, even if you find someone funny. Yeah. I feel on this side of things, so long as you're perceived as funny, you could do anything you want.
To open an OnlyFans, and then maybe you'll earn your fucking keep in this fucking world.
What's this guy's problem, dude? So this Purple Parry guy keeps talking about my wife doing OnlyFans, and it made me get on my phone really quick. Pretty quickly, the only thing that I can even find about him that isn't just videos he's posting is an interview
Parry is funny until you realize it's not a bit. He's funny up until you come to this disturbing realization that this is a real human being that actually, is this way. And you start to realize, oh, this is actually really sad and pathetic. He used to go into Spicy and go on these, self-victimizing, fucking rants that would be funny to laugh, but then no, that's actually how he felt. In every situation, he saw himself as the victim. When he got low viewership, he quit and thought people were wronging him or some shit and would bitch about it and this was actually him. And then when you interact with him on a personal level, although at some points the funniness isn't done in a way that's violating the boundaries of others and he could be somewhat pleasant to be around, you realize, no, this is him. This is him. And it's kind of disturbing.
Where this guy's asking him why he follows and looks at lolicon material.
This one's epic. There's one called Iron Lily. That one you could even argue is lowly, but no one called me out on it.
In chat, Bobby B asked, "Did you expect people to question you following them?"
What? Dude, Jimmy is mainstream. Bro, Jimmy and Junk Drawer Gaming are fucking mainstream. Holy fuck.
No, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I didn't. But you see what I mean, right? That's like, this is by far the worst.
Yeah, this is. This is pretty bad.
I stand by it, is my point, you know?
And what's even
This
more...
is him getting confronted over the Green Gary Gaming fault. You guys, once again, this community is... I'm not saying Parry's a pedophile, but, like, people would be okay. Like, Spinal BJ, when you realize he's, like, unironically a pedophile, like, it stopped becoming funny, but there were people like Hick Fury, who's also conveniently a mod for Parry, that were still modding for and interacting for this guy when we had more than enough evidence that this guy's, like, some sort of fucking pedophile.
More ironic in regards to Purple Parry Gaming being into lolicon content is he had this to say about people who watch my videos.
Brandon's pedophile rapist audience.
The pot calls the kettle black, eh? This is a deeply disturbed young boy here. But yeah, good for him. He's standing by his lolicon enjoyment.
I was completely deaf. My feet were swollen.
Oh, it's not even plugged in. Dude, look at the dude. Dude, holy shit. It's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in. It's not even fucking plugged in. It's not even fucking plugged in. It's not even It's not even fucking plugged in. It's like the wires are going to it. The fucking blue wires are going to it, and it's not even fucking plugged in.
Parry's going. That's a horrible idea, by the way. I should be thinking about what he's gonna say and be prepared. Because he's now no longer are the eyes of just like this like niche online community with its own like specific humor and understanding of said humor. He's gonna have a lot of eyes on him right now. He should honestly and seriously think about how the stream's gonna go down, and he absolutely has not had enough time to do that. So I don't know what's going on here. But honestly, best of luck to him. I say this genuinely because without luck right now, this guy's completely fucked, disproportionately fucked in my opinion, compared to what he's actually done.
It's dude.
I think that stupid people will say something over and over to try to make you more convinced of what they're saying. The IV pump has batteries, so it doesn't need to be plugged in. I don't know if I can continue reacting to this.
Yeah, there's no beeping. There's no beeping, but he's connected to it with all these wires. What?
Godspeed, Parry Cells. Godspeed. I just like what did? I don't know what to say.
Where is like we have this little thing here? Where does it go?
He is literally just to an audience of millions. Or not how many views? Sorry, millions is an over exaggeration. How many views does Brandon average per video?
Wires are going to it.
Millions on the hospitalization, a million on the hospitalization videos. He does get videos that get 1 million, up to 2. So at the very minimum, hundreds of thousands of people are going to be walking away from this believing that Purple Parry Gaming is a pedophile that went after Brandon Buckingham's family. To have an angry mob with that in their mind, it's like, good luck, bro. Good luck. Holy shit.
Where it goes like there? Where does it go? Dude, is this actually a scam?
Yeah, what am I supposed to say to this? This is like colossal levels of retardation.
Like, what's this over here? What's this down here? What are these boxes? Are these like earbud box? What is this?
Dude, like he's looking at the Rode Wireless Go boxes and he's like, what's this? What is that? Oh, he's like desperately looking for stuff to try to prove that I'm not sick in the hospital.
That's true. That is true.
Hospital dying.
Is this even in a hospital, man? Is this even having hospital noises? You know.
And the whole I was being an edgelord. This was a joke. I don't think my life should be ruined over me making a joke. Right? The refutation of this would be, I was making edgy jokes. Brandon does the same thing. Because Brandon does make edgy jokes, right? Brandon does the same thing or something, right? The problem with that is, Parry did. I literally asked him if he was trolling on stream outright. Like, he did seriously try to argue for all of this.
I've been to a hospital before. Now, mind you, I mean, it's like the main hospital in Malta. Maybe there's like some side hospital. There's no beeping.
I can't imagine seeing somebody sick and in the hospital, and reacting this way. This is crazy.
What are we? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Is this like the director? Who the fuck is this? Did you see this? Who the fuck is this? Is this the fucking owner of the hospital set that you're using? Is this the owner of the hospital set that you're using?
Fuck, bro.
Is this like the owner? Dude, what the fuck is this, man?
That's my dad.
Refunding? No. Can I get one? Can I get a
It's bad, guys. It's really bad.
request a refund? At Chronic, pay attention. Protect your kindness by protecting your donation. If you're a donor and would like to refund, believe there's been an authorized charge, our team can help. Okay, so Chronic, click contact us, and
he was actively like convincing people to it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I think Brandon knows what he's doing here. He is inciting. Parry did fuck up here in numerous regards. If these were seriously litigated points, which they were, he seriously tried to argue for these points. Parry does look dishonest. Parry does look devoid of empathy to the general public. And then the shit he was following on Green Gary will make some people legitimately and falsely believe this guy was like some sort of pedophile, right? Dude, it's so bad.
I guess I'll help you from there. Click contact us, and then when you're talking to the AI bots, say that you have good reason to believe Brandon Buckingham.
Listen, okay? The Aiden curse, when all these people are going after me, I was praying every day that, like, that they get destroyed. That's not what I meant, dude. Holy shit.
Buckingham is scamming, and then link to my video, and then link to my video, and then link to my video.
I think Parry won. Yeah, for the bit and for the content, he won. In regards to his entire personal life, chance of advancing his career, etc., he did not win at all. He did not win at all. The risks that are now going to be brought to him as a result of this are not worth any comedic value. Unironically, the people that celebrate this as a W have to hate Parry. Like, you'd have to hate him to think this is a W for him, because there's no scenario, unless like a bigger person with a platform comes and like refutes some of the shit Brandon was saying or defends Parry. There's no scenario where this goes well.
Let's fucking go. Guys, amazing news, guys. We did it, guys. We did it. We did it.
I do hate Parry, I do hate Parry, and I do think this is a total Parry victory. This is all he wants. Then we disagree. Does he want a response? Sure. Does he want content? Sure. But I don't think he's considering what comes with this kind of attention. And I don't think he wants any of that. If you're if you have a basic like instinct of self-preservation, you don't want anything that comes with this. So I'm telling you, this is how I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at this in the context of, is Parry morally in the right or morally wrong or this or that? I'm looking at this, I'm pretending I am a Brandon Buckingham viewer right now that is just believing what this guy says to me. With that understanding in mind, and understanding that there are going to be hundreds of thousands of people like me, watching from that perspective, how would I be interpreting this, the evidence, as I'm being shown it, and what would my conclusion about Parry then be if this was my main source of info on the situation? And that's what I'm using as my assessment for how fucked he is.
All right, so one of the people I guess in his chat had donated to me. He got them to refund their donation, and he's like super proud of that. You might be wondering, what kind of person donates to a GoFundMe and then revokes their donation? Well, his name is Chronic Sonic, and let's hear what he had to say.
Well, someone said, you're gonna make it through this, and I replied, he won't. Okay. And then the guy replied to me, pray to curse Vishnu, and I replied to him, I'm a Christian. I know Brandon's going to hell. Okay. That's basically what I said.
What's wrong with this guy? It would have been pretty gnarly if I died.
Dude, I also hate Chronic Sonic right now, but holy shit, man.
He was saying, but I guess,
it's over, bro.
I'll put a video right now on Twitter that someone posted towards Turkey Tom, and this guy's like mocking. You'll see.
If I survive, it'll be a long way to recovery. You hear that, Tom? Looks like your friend's gonna be a fucking turn-up for the rest of his life.
Who is this?
How unfortunate, huh? heart failure. Oh, he's gonna die. Yo, don't get me.
Like Parry will be successful in like the way that a lolcow is like this. Like he very well might be terminated off of YouTube now, be driven to another platform, have like the same amount, if not a smaller amount of committed viewership, and the rest will be tuning in just to like A-log. Like listen, he drove the lolcow porn against me pretty. This is like unironically, like if he's content being that, so be it.
It's really cute you're sticking up for your little friend who got hurt. But I think it overall is pointless. I think anyone who donates is an idiot. Tell him I said reach for the stars. See ya.
All the people that give someone who's in the hospital a really hard time, that they don't even know the person, there's no reason behind it really. I think they're very like sick, dysgenic, evil people that are like miserable and like have some mental or physical
It's probably true.
deformity that makes them hideous.
And he's in hospital now because he was hitting the scissor up and the fetty too hard. He was hitting the scissor up.
No, no, dude, not okay. Friendly fire now, well, not friendly fire because they're not friendly, but like everyone else involved in this story, they're objectively fucked. But Quim's not gonna be fucked by Virgil. Quim's not gonna be fucked. Quim's not gonna be fucked. If anything, Brandon dragging Queeman into this is going to be good for Parry. Because if Queeman gets dragged into this and gets shit for it, then Chud might come in and have to refute Brandon. And if Chud has to come and refute Brandon, then there's going to be a bigger discourse against Brandon, and Parry might get out by virtue of that. So, so this actually might be good for Parry.
The fetty too hard. He's in hospital now. The idea Brandon Buckingham's got some amazing reputation with all these reputable people. No, all the people who like Brandon are stupid scum.
You missed out? I'm in college. With everything Parry can lose, he doesn't have a whole lot to lose. He's unemployed, mooching off of some family member whose house he lives at. That's fair. I'm in school. I could lose a lot. I could lose a fuck ton. That's why to some extent I do need to be like a little bit optics cocked here.
I think like a well-to-do, nice person would not say these things, and if you are saying these things, you probably have the like physiognomy of this guy or this other guy, which is, you know, you can be ugly and fucked up and still be a nice guy. You don't have to be like this.
Is their baby retarded? Almost definitely, but we don't know.
Listen, that was just like a bad hair. That was literally just like a bad hair day for Kui.
No, for 100%.
He's not a terrible looking guy. I've seen him. He's not a terrible looking guy. I mean, it was like improved. Sure, his posture. You could see sort of that like gamer posture on him. Like his shoulders are a little bit slouched, but other than that, he's fine. I don't think he's that bad looking.
Anyway, I'm telling you guys, I've censored this photo. I censored it. That baby looks hella retarded, guys.
Oh my! What did you say? What were you fucking thinking, bro? What were you thinking? What the fuck was this guy thinking, bro? Holy shit!
That baby needs a helmet. Let's just say that. No, obviously they can't help it. It's Brandon Buckingham's fault, really. I'm not listen. Brandon Buckingham.
It's like he goes into everything with the mindset, what could I say that's gonna look the worst to everybody outside of this niche community? And I guess he succeeded in that regard. Best of fucking luck.
Child is hella retarded, okay?
It's pretty brave of this guy to call my 1-year-old daughter retarded looking when he looks like this.
Is he's like watching to make sure that you guys aren't ruining his set of a fake hospital?
The good news is they no longer think I made.
Yeah, he's like.
Look, okay. Although I believe that humor goes places that others are unwilling to go, I'm pretty sure I even said this at the time. Yeah, I think that the jokes about his kid went into different territory that I would never be comfortable going into, nor would I be comfortable associating myself with, because I think we should avoid talking about people's kids in our content as much as conceivably possible. And there's not really ever going to be a reason that we, unless it's with like Destiny, where like his kid like says things that become the content of themselves. I think generally we do have to moderate ourselves when it comes to. I think we have some sort of ethical obligation to probably refrain from talking about the kids.
Even pale either. He's like all fucking red in the face. He's like red in the face. Dude, he looks like he just got fucking down from.
Now the wives. That one's a little different. Okay, that one's a little different. But the kids.
A whole weekend of partying, and he's pretending to be dying.
A few months ago, I was in the ICU. My heart wasn't doing great. My liver and kidneys were struggling. And honestly, I almost didn't make it. Some things you expect, some stuff you don't. But when the unexpected happens due to someone else's negligence, that's when it really matters who's in your corner. There's a reason why you wouldn't make a documentary without knowing the full story. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
Dude, not a Morgan & Morgan sponsor. You can't avoid Morgan & Morgan, bro. You can't avoid them. At this point, I'm like, honestly, I'm surprised the ambulances that respond to car accidents and a Morgan & Morgan on them.
The full story too. Make sure every angle is covered. And if you end up working with them, you've actually got someone fighting for you when you need it most. The firm was founded after John Morgan's brother was seriously injured as a teenager.
Okay,
and don't have today, Morgan.
I just the whole idea of like a Morgan & Morgan sponsorship being put on the end of Parry's life is just like a very strange concept to me.
The internet. You know, I don't.
You know the worst part too? The Times of Malta might report on this. He might be like nationally infamous because there's like nobody in that country and nothing ever happens there. They don't have like the only famous person I could think of that's maybe is like Pete Buttigieg, who's like half Maltese. This might make national news in that country. I've been in the Times of Malta when there was a fire. You could hear my voice in the video.
I don't know if he's just completely, because there was this image going around of me with a pink-haired girl where I'm flexing money, smoking a cigar, and I have a hospital band on. And the caption is, "He's all right, and so is your money." And this is a completely AI'd photo. I don't know who this person is. They're just making this image to get clicks online and I guess, troll me a bit. And Purple Perry quote tweets it and says, "Holy hell, he's
Yeah, that's bad. He actively fell for AI and ran with it as factual. That's pretty bad, obviously. I mean, what am I gonna say? Like, it's no secret that Perry like actively peddles complete disinformation. He said, for example, on his latest stream, that I was the one who tipped off Diorio about Rita's website. Even Dickers, who I don't like and he doesn't like me, was not stupid enough to fucking say that. Someone tried to get him to say it, and he's like, I don't think Aiden did that, because I didn't fucking do it.
Actually bragging about scamming his audience. But I like to think he's actually smart enough to know it's AI, and he's just like a pathetic dickhead that is trying to get attention by any means possible. Anyways, let's get back to the reaction. I'll say one thing about this video. It's effective at defeating your desire to want to watch it.
I will also likely need to be on heart medication the rest of my life.
Whoa, wow. I'm a millionaire. I have to pay $10 a month for heart med.
I'm not a millionaire. Dude, my RPM is like $4.50.
Estimated revenue, 4.6K in the last 28 days. The last 28 days is probably not going to be an accurate assessment of your monthly. He might not be a millionaire. That part might be true in terms of like his present assets. I know, doesn't he like share where he's living, etc.? He might not be a millionaire in terms of his presently owned assets, but he'll absolutely, at the rate he goes with consistent content uploading, he will be one at some point in the near future. And this is obviously not going to be an accurate metric of how much he's actually making, as indicated by the downward arrow. You see the downward arrow in comparison. So last 28 days, if you've made more or less in the last month than you've made previously, that's what the arrow means. So it means he's made less or in the last 28 days than he did in the 28 days before that. And that would probably be because, when was his last upload?
Attention by any means possible.
3 weeks ago, and then 3 months ago before that. So in terms of like how he's doing on a month where he's regularly putting out upload, well, he doesn't He actually doesn't even upload. You know what? He's definitely not a millionaire. He's totally not a millionaire because of look at how frequently he puts out content. He wouldn't be a millionaire. I've done views like this. When I had my main. I did a video with like 21 million views, right? I'm pretty sure I could have made like if it wasn't copyright claimed, I would have made what, like fucking 30 grand off that or some shit. So I can believe he's not a millionaire. Obviously, there's not going to be an honest representation of his income presently, because he also has multiple streams of revenue. He's doing sponsorships. He has the Patreon, the GoFundMe. The money was coming in there. But I think the claim that he's not a millionaire is probably going to be accurate. Yeah.
I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even 100,000-aire. I have expenses. I have a family.
I think that's maybe reaching.
It's very expensive to fly 2 camera guys out to film things, right? Pay for lodging and airfare. If I was a millionaire, I wouldn't be making a GoFundMe. And that's why...
Because if you're a millionaire, that's not actually counting the amount of money you have in your bank. That's the amount, like the total accumulation of assets to your name and what they're valued at. So all the equipment he owns, all the, you know, if he has investments presently, you know, maybe he doesn't have 100,000 in his savings account, right?
Why my Patreon members are so important. Speaking of which, the Kia Boys extended cut documentary is up now, which is incredibly exciting, I guarantee. And I just posted...
I could believe he's not a millionaire, but I think he's definitely maybe downplaying how much money he has, obviously.
First episode of my new podcast where I'm talking about what it was like for me to be sick, how it affected my family, and how my recovery is going so far. So check that out right now on Patreon.
Yeah, obviously a diagnosis can change, but it's not plugged in. It's not plugged in, guys.
By the way, speaking of income, we are presently, if you want to help us make above $5 an hour, you can support this stream by tipping through Streamlabs Super Chats. All your tips are greatly appreciated. Another great way to support the stream is by liking it. 150 people watching, only 48 likes. Unacceptable. In the period of the AG4L comeback, we need mass mobilization. Everybody hit that like button.
It's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in. It's not even plugged in. What the fuck?
There he is. He's back saying it's not even plugged in. Great video, sick video. This is a fun watch, guys.
My heart is currently only working at 15 to 20%.
Oh yeah, is that what the unplugged medical equipment is saying? 15 to 20%? Is that what the unplugged medical equipment that isn't beeping is saying?
The medical equipment doesn't tell you what your ejection fraction is. That's an echocardiogram. You have to go to like imaging place to get it.
Is this like a what is it's like?
Yeah, all of this could have been refuted if Parry just said I was being edgy for like the performance. I don't actually think this shit. I never actually did. My channel is like satire. I'm being a troll. That would refute all of this. That would refute him peddling misinformation. That would refute the claims he's making. The problem you have is he doesn't actually admit that. He actually tries to litigate these things as if they're serious points because he gets glazed by his, I'm going to use the term, hugbox chat, glazes him so he thinks, oh wait, they're seriously buying this. Hick Fury, the mod for known pedophile Spinal BJ, is really buying my, like, shit argument. And then he tries to litigate it as if it was serious. So that cult doesn't really work now, does it?
Like a tampon, like, on his hand here? Like, on his hand? This looks like, what is it, like a tampon that he just put on his hand? Like, what is this? What is this bracelet? What is this
Satire shouldn't have to label himself satire, people are just No, people aren't autistic. He isn't satire. He seriously tries to argue these points and litigate them in a serious fashion. This is shit. Do I think he believes it? No, but I don't think he believes it to the extent of he's disingenuous, right? He doesn't believe it, but we'll litigate it anyway. So no, this isn't satire. It isn't, right? That's why he shouldn't label himself as that.
He's so red in the face. It's like fucking. It just doesn't. No.
The bracelet is a hospital bracelet. The tampon on my arm is where they drew blood because my IVs were getting clogged essentially because I had been in the hospital for days by the time I filmed this video. I don't know what that's called. I'm not a doctor, but that's a thing that happens.
I'm dying. Cough, cough. I'm dying. But don't show people I'm balding. Make sure. Can I wear a beanie? Can I wear? I want people to see that I'm balding. Okay. I used to wear one of those bandanas to hide the fact he's balding. This guy's so in such an insecure
He's in
loser.
the
Anyway,
hospital. His hair is probably a fucking mess. Also, it's like really ironic to be talking about insecurity when his camera is always conveniently zoomed in just to the extent where you can't see his abdominal obesity.
Anyway,
I used to wear a bandana to hide that I'm balding. When was that? I don't. Holy crap, dude. This is low.
if his breathing was bad, you would hear the many liters of oxygen going into his nose.
Mad, I think I've been more than charitable to Perry in this segment. I've said I think this video is like a over response, right? Simultaneously, I will not sit here and pretend like Perry did not knowingly and actively peddle misinformation, engage in accusations that he was, by his own word, completely serious about in bad faith. I don't think he actually believed it, and this has been a theme of his, right? And I think that by virtue of this is always going to come back to bite him in the ass. So although I simultaneously think this is a complete disproportionate, and I think that Perry should be, you know, I hope it doesn't go where I think it's going. Simultaneously, I don't actually, I'm not going to sit here and sweep for any of this, because you can't really sweep for it, can you?
Well, you're telling me, wait, Borer, you're telling me that when people's hearts is working at 15% 50% capacity, they might need help breathing? And you're telling me, Borer, that they wouldn't switch off the machine next to him? They wouldn't switch it off? They wouldn't switch it off? They wouldn't just, like, let the cord dangle? And that we would hear, like, a machine which is helping him live? As opposed to, like, dead silence?
Really the ICU.
Like, don't listen to what this, like, scamming loser is saying.
This guy's calling me a scamming loser. This is like
the takeaway from all this should be, Perry is willing to lie to his audience that he believes the obviously dog shit points he's making. If he thinks he's not going to get any consequences for it temporarily, he should not be taken seriously in any context where he's actually making an argument, which he tries to do multiple times. I don't think the takeaway should be that Perry is a pedophile that is attacking people's families. Okay? Do I think he made an edgy joke that went too far? Yes. Right? Yes. But that's not going to be that's not going to be the interpretation. People are going to come away from this thinking that Perry is a pedophile that goes after people's families.
This is the worst video I've ever made. The reacting to this. This is like the worst video I've ever made. This is like if you were to go to an insane asylum and then try to debate an insane person, you would wind up sounding crazy. Can you get a shot of that bird over?
What is the evidence for his drug addiction, by the way? I haven't seen any of that. I don't know where that's coming from.
There? That's like the one good part of the video. Can you get a good zoom on that bird? I think it's an egret. See, now we're getting good content. Now we're getting some good stuff.
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. I don't know what they do in these situations where they don't know what's going on. I feel like it would be louder. I just know it would be louder, dude. He's putting on a strong face. So brave. So brave. Could it be a private hospital since he's so rich? A private hospital where they just leave the cord dangling? I don't know, man. Maybe.
I don't know what to say, guys. He stumped me with his stupidity.
Is there like fake hospital TV set Texas?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound like total. There's a difference between somebody that does drugs and a drug addict. Okay, I've been pretty open about the fact that I've tried a lot of different substances in my time, but I'm not addicted to any. Like many of them I haven't used in years. Right? That's not like a secret. But there's a difference between somebody that is open to using drugs and somebody that is addicted to drugs. There's a major difference. So when you say he admits to doing drugs a lot, depends on what you mean. Is he trying LSD sometimes, or is he like taking like opiates?
Can we find like, is there like, does anyone, I don't know, I'm not in the industry. Hospital sets for filming. Does anyone know where he's from, guys? Does anyone know where he's from? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? I don't know, maybe we could find the set. That would be,
typically,
that would say a lot.
The type of drug that people are using is going to indicate whether they're an addict or not. I had someone that seriously tried to argue with me that they were just taking Oxycontin recreationally. I actually had a debate with a drug addict in private, and they argued that they could quit anytime they want and that they were taking Oxycontin recreationally. What do you know? Their life completely spirals and they can't stop. Because that's a substance that is literally... There is no way a normal person can take that and not be addicted. It's a physically addictive substance because it's an opiate.
And I would say a lot of you found.
Yes, I'm addicted to nicotine. Okay, so technically I'm a drug addict in the extent of I'm addicted to nicotine. Yes.
Exact set.
Tom's ex leaked it. Did she present any evidence? Tom's ex leaked a lot of things that were proven to be outright lies, and she lied by omission. So I'm sorry, there's no evidence. Like, her word is like absolute dog shit to me and like anyone else because she's lied. So we need something a little extra before we start going and litigating that Brandon's a drug addict. If it is just her word, then no, there is actually nothing substantial that this guy's addicted to drugs. If you are going and peddling her claims where she is the only source, like, you honestly, like, you're completely mind raped.
Or who knows, maybe he's faking an illness in order to record in a real hospital. I still think it would be louder. Though.
Why didn't this guy just look up the name of the hospital that I was at? None of this makes any sense. There's like so many insinuations.
I googled the name on Medical City Healthcare. I did Google that. I didn't see anything though.
If you Google Medical City Healthcare, the hospital I was at is actually the first result that comes up.
Yeah, I made this argument to him.
I didn't see anything, and now it's not loading. God damn it. He's like, yeah, guys, even if I am faking, I'm still dying, so you need to give me the money.
Once again, arguing with him doesn't matter because he doesn't believe in this shit. But if he thinks he can win on it, he will try to peddle it as if he does believe it, because he's a disingenuous fuck. Thank you for the 5, Soul Skibbity. Aiden, I'm not getting notifications for your stream. YouTube has shadow banned you, buddy. Well, you know what, Soul? That's unfortunate, but they just want to keep me down.
Even if it turns out that it's because I'm doing fentanyl, you should still give me the money because I have a freaking hot stay-at-home wife who refuses to do any work or pick up any of the slack, and I have a kid that I don't know the name of. You know, it's Brandon Buckingham and all his friends, but mostly Brandon Buckingham, believe that if you're poor, you should just die. That's what they think. I don't think that.
Yeah, for the record, I don't think if you're poor you should die, and I think that having healthcare regardless of your financial bracket is good. I don't know what he's just making stuff up.
So this guy's like a druggy retard, and we have to foot the bill, really? I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube, so you don't have to admit that you're like a drug addict freak. The problem is, this guy enjoys doing drugs more than he enjoys taking care of his kid, and now he's making that your problem by making you donate.
So if what he was saying is true, and I am just like a hopeless drug addict that is like destroying my health and doing so many drugs that I'm about to be...
Yeah, although I think this video is completely disproportionate, Parry did, in my opinion, falsely accuse this guy of what would be equivalent to a crime, right? He did peddle multiple false claims about the guy. Do I think this is completely disproportionate? Yes. Do I think it's like pathetic to dedicate a whole video to somebody who everyone outside of this like niche mind raped community thinks is like an insane person that is lying? Sure, yes. But to be fair, no, like, he did actively and knowingly peddle misinformation.
Dead.
Obviously, this is the most severe possible consequence you could face from covering something like this. I think that it's good to face a consequence for misinformation, for peddling misinformation, and he does exist in a hug box that hypes him up. But this is like, it's like bringing a fucking nuclear bomb to a knife fight.
Then make it okay to like mock me and make fun of me in that situation. And then he's saying, I don't care about poor people or the downtrodden people. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. That's nice.
Isn't drug addiction and abuse the same thing? Yes, but the thing I'm trying to point out to Anon, okay? The thing I'm trying to point out is that loser right-wing freaks like Brandon Buckingham and his besties don't like calling people immigrants. They call them illegal aliens, right? That's what they say. I am saying that I do not want to use empathetic language for Brandon Buckingham because he refuses to show any empathy or whatsoever or anything along those lines, and neither do any of his associates for anybody in a similar situation.
Harry doesn't actually care. He might be right on that. I think Brandon is probably politically mind raped. I think he definitely is some sort of conservative. I can agree. But Perry does not care about any of that. Perry cares about that as much as he cared about my drama with Lyle's wife. He doesn't give a fuck.
Never commented on immigration or illegal aliens, and this is all just complete fabrication by this guy who's trying to paint me in a negative light.
And so, I could believe that Brandon had said something like that, so maybe I just fell for Perry's misinformation. But if he can't provide receipts, if Perry can't provide receipts, then Yeah, I think the amount of misinformation he's peddled is probably worthy of not this, obviously not this, but yeah, I think that like there should be some consequence for going online and like lying. Yeah, probably.
To fulfill his little sick and twisted fantasy. So
Well, to be fair, the only time I spoke to Brandon, I joined the call. I think I had my video on, and his first question to me was, "Are you Jewish?" And like, I know he's like cool with Sam Hyde or whatever. It's like, okay, I could probably make some inference as to where Brandon's politics would lie. So that is believably, like, I could conceive him saying something like that.
That's cool.
Right? Like, I could sit here and be like, oh, it's sad to be addicted to drugs. I could say that. Does Brandon feel the same way? No. He thinks that if you're addicted to drugs, make sure to show up when Brandon is filming so he can make money off of you. That's what he thinks.
Again, I have no idea what he's talking about. And just as an anecdote here, one of the people that was featured in one of my drug documentaries about Kensington, Philadelphia, actually got sober after the experience. And then I later reconnected with him, did a GoFundMe for him, raised over $6,000 and gave him $7,500 to help his continued sobriety journey. So it just makes no sense. I also...
Lol, really? Yes, really. Yes. Yes, really. Yes. I just assume maybe it was an edgy joke or something. I'm like, it's one thing to make an edgy joke with me when you're my friend. It's another thing when it's like my first time speaking to you. It's like, oh, okay. Like, funny, I guess. But like, it kind of just led to like, okay, I can infer like a little bit about what this guy thinks. Just a little bit.
Spent my Thanksgiving in 2024 giving out over $8,000 to homeless people on the streets of Kensington. So yeah, I just, how can I respond to these things when they're just made up, just bullshit? It's just completely dumb. This whole video just sucks and is stupid.
Wait, what's this? In loving memory of my big brother, Kyle Delaney. Wait, so his brother
Oh no, dude.
His brother also did a GoFundMe scam? That's crazy.
Bro, he's talking about my dead brother now.
Dude, this is just like, man. You know what the funny part is? You know what the funny part is? I was going to be debating Parry today. I was going to at least try to be debating Parry today on a lie he told about me.
Yo, this guy is like way out of bounds. Way out of bounds. I don't know. What do you guys at home think about this? He's essentially saying
I think the rule is any detail about your life that you decide to make public online, people are gonna make fun of it. People are edgy. People are gonna make unhinged, edgy jokes about it. Do I think some jokes are off the line? Absolutely. I thought the joke about his kid, yeah. Like, I on principle, I'm against, like, even if it's in a comedic context, bringing people's kids into this. The problem is, there is truth to the notion that Parry did push lies about him. They did get some viewership. Now, nobody who was watching this, maybe a few people, the general sentiment I saw towards this was that Parry's just like a crazy person and people were only interacting to disagree or laugh at him. So I don't think this was like warranting of a response at all. Yeah.
wife is a whore. I'm a drug addict. I'm a scammer. I'm faking everything. My brother's a scammer. My dead brother, that is. I don't even know.
This guy's totally a Christian, guys. Totally.
And he's mocking my religion as well. He's mocking Christianity. He's also mocking that I make rap.
Brandon is. It's not hard. Once again, it's not hard. I've said this before. Like when Perry goes into a drama, he thinks, "What is gonna be like the most like shocking thing I can possibly say right now?" So it's not gonna be hard to find clips like this. But if you were handpicking clips that would incite an angry mob against Perry, he's marking all the checks, right? He's marking all the checks. The Perry lolicon shit, the Perry mocking Christian, like he's mocking my religion, he's mocking Christianity. The mob is gonna get bigger and bigger.
Music. Has this guy made any rap music? Is he angry because he's tried to rap and he just like sucks at it? Let's figure that out here.
Organs don't work. My organs don't work. My organs don't work. My organs don't work. I went to the Middle East, to the kidneys. I talked.
Okay, that's a little. I'll give him that. That's a little fun.
All right, this guy is retarded, confirmed.
Totally, totally real Christian. Not.
Would I go there and make fun of a man who clearly looks sick while he's in the hospital? And Probably not. Probably not. Okay. Probably not. I think comedy's allowed to go anywhere generally, unless you're like using comedy as a thin veil to like be a genuinely horrible person. I will give him that. That was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
The fucking loser, suburban, white boy that wants to be a rapper whatsoever.
Does this guy hate white people? He's saying I'm a suburban white boy.
Dude, he knows what he's doing. Brandon knows what he's doing. Now we've gotten the Christians on board. We've gotten the conservative reactionaries on board. Parry is anti-white. We've gotten and anyone who wasn't on board with that, we've gotten them involved by making them think Parry's a pedophile. Like, dude, he's gotten everyone on board.
What's someone from Malta? What are they? Are they not white?
Parry looks like a massive, if you're like thinking in the minds of this autistic community, yes. To everyone else that isn't us, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, you're now gonna have hundreds of thousands of people thinking you're a pedophile. I would hardly call that a W. Hardly. Is Brandon like being disingenuous? Yes. Agree. I don't need to litigate to you the problems with Brandon Buckingham, right? Because you already know that. There's nobody here I need to convince, right?
Suburban, white boy that wants to be a rapper whatsoever.
Does this guy hate white people? He's saying I'm a suburban.
I think the engagement is a win. End of. Okay, if you put end of at the end of your argument, then that means it's completely correct. We're not allowed to refute it. Hey guys, my channel's terminated. My life is ruined. I can never gain any meaningful employment. My family is under attack. Their information is posted on the internet, and people hate my guts and are a-logging everything I do. I have actually like no possibility of ever doing anything meaningful in my home country now, or probably finding employment. But hey, at least I got him to engage. This is like was it like worth it? I guess. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
White boy. What's someone from Malta? What are they? Are they not white?
He's bringing up the Maltese question. We've long pondered over this. Are the Maltese white? They have influence from the Moor or the Phoenicians and the Moors and the Romans a little bit and the.
What the hell is he? Is he Jewish? What?
What? Okay. I think it's probably okay. All right, Brandon. All right. Okay. You know, that's a dog whistle. He's called him anti-white. Now he's going to call him Jewish. There are almost no Jewish people in Malta, by the way. There are almost no Jewish people that live in Malta. He's going to call him Jewish because the dog whistle's going to click now that like, oh, he's anti-white, so he's Jewish. Yeah, if you accuse everybody you perceive as anti-white of being Jewish, then yeah, you're going to think like Jews in general are super anti-white or whatever. I don't know where that came from here, though.
The hell is he? What's the point? You're a suburban white boy. What's the point there?
Wait, he's saying he's in the ICU right now? Wait, he's saying he's in the ICU. Is this what the ICU is usually like, guys?
Guys,
is this what the ICU usually looks like, where it's like there's a bunch of space, there's no noise or anything?
Stay-at-home wife.
It is not an ICU bed.
4 days ago, I woke up.
Is this what they do in the ICU? They put you with the puppy pee mat and they have.
What about this guy? I'm just like, okay. Now I'm starting to think when he said that to me, it was not an edgy joke. This guy like might unironically be like some sort of crypto Nazi, because like, what the fuck did that have to do with anything? It's like, no, to be fair, do I give a fuck if somebody makes an edgy joke about Jews? No, of course not. I think Jew jokes are fucking hilarious. Okay? Simultaneously, with the context of how I've interacted with this guy and the context that just got brought up in like an obvious dog whistle, I'm starting to think, okay, this guy might be like, maybe, potentially, have some, in private, some Nazi adjacent views.
They have the unplugged parts monitor and everything. Is that what they do? He's saying this is the ICU. He's saying this is the ICU. I am forced to stay in the ICU as the doctors try different medications, get my heart pumping semi-normally again. Dude, insane. This is not the ICU.
So this guy's an ICU expert. He's saying it's not an ICU bed. Dude, I don't know enough about the ICU to tell you what bed is usually in there, but this is definitely in the ICU. I have medical paperwork showing that I'm in the ICU. Is that a snake? Yo, get a shot of that. Is that a real snake? This guy has a big snake. You just catch that snake?
Yep.
Is that a rattlesnake, is it?
No, it's just a rat snake.
Oh man, I want nothing to do with that. Holy shit. Yo, look at that. That is horrifying. I don't want to be near that.
All right, I'm just sneaking by you here.
Holy crap. Oh my
That's
God.
a good picture for you right there, bud.
Yeah, there you go. You want to say anything to the people?
How'd you do?
You just caught that thing?
Yes, sir. Ain't no thing.
Your thoughts on white... This is the problem with any discourse surrounding white people. There is talking about white people as a concept and people who are white. Should you go after somebody by virtue of their skin color or being of European heritage? Does that lead to the assumption of inherent negative traits about them? No. And a lot of times when people say white people, they're not meaning people who are white. They're talking about the concept of being white, which there is legitimate criticism of, because historically, who was or wasn't white was used for exclusionary purposes, right? So for a while, whiteness was like people from Northern Europe, at a time when people from Southern Europe or Ireland were being demonized, Italians were being demonized, then they get included into the umbrella. Then at a time people don't like Jews, Ashkenazi Jews are not considered white. So the term whiteness has been selectively applied in the context of who are we excluding as opposed to who are we including, because there's no actual like set boundary for what makes you white or not. So when people attack whiteness, they're attacking it, or a lot of times, and people get all offended by it, it's attacking the notion of this like concept, right? Why do you identify with this concept other than for social exclusionary means? There are people that say white people to mean people who are white, which can be, yeah, obviously racist.
I'm gonna take you home and keep it as a pet.
Really?
Yes, sir.
But a lot of times, like in the Sam Hyde adjacent community, people that Brandon's cool with, they see like book titles where it's like the problem with being white, which means like the problem with actively identifying with this group as if it's a meaningful categorization. And they're basically explaining that it exists to basically just like socially define the other and is like socially exclusionary or whatever. They'll take that, be like reactionary to it. And then the narrative is in these communities that Jews are knowingly pushing, because Jews make up a big portion of academia, that Jews are knowingly pushing anti-white rhetoric to the masses to get people to hate white people, right? And then maybe that's not what Brandon was trying to do, but when you're accusing someone of being anti-white and then immediately followed up with, is this guy Jewish? You are dog whistling to that side, right? And he's aware of that because he's cool with people like Sam Hyde. He understands. Sam Hyde is like an ardent neo-Nazi. All irony aside, Sam Hyde unironically donated money to a neo-Nazi's legal defense, was at like a neo-Nazi book burning. Sam Hyde is an unironic neo-Nazi. He knows like what the dog whistle is to.
Yo, that was awesome. Thank you, sir. This video is crap. That was cool though. That was awesome. That was really cool. Highlight of the video right
No, well, no, obviously I sound soy saying it. You asked me to explain it, my opinions on it, or what I was basically explaining to you my perspective here.
there. So thanks for staying tuned, you guys. I'm going to be releasing on Patreon a Patreon podcast with my brother where we're just going to sit down and have casual conversation.
I think the concept of being white is something that, just like the concept, for example, of being Jewish per se, right? Like I was raised secular. I have no attachment to like Jewish culture or like political trends, or I don't have an affinity for Israel or whatever, etc. Just like being Jewish, the concept of whiteness is something that means nothing to me. I have no connection or involvement in defending it. And if people want to have a discourse around its categorization or around its existence as a category, I feel nothing as a result of that. Now, if somebody looks at me because of the color of my skin and doesn't like me or makes inherent negative assumptions about that or tells me what discourse I am or I'm not allowed to participate in, then I would take personal issue with that, right? Because anytime somebody is making like blanket claims towards somebody else due to an immutable characteristic, I think that's wrong.
So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be on my Patreon here pretty soon. The Buckingham podcast, we're going to be talking about what it's like for me to recover and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll be doing those every week, whether we're playing video games or just chatting about stuff like the Jeffrey Epstein files. We have good stuff coming on the way. So I really appreciate you guys watching. We are going to continue walking at the park on this beautiful day, and we will see you next week. Thank you guys so much. I'm really happy to be alive, happy to be making videos, and
yes, I am a cum skin, okay? I'm a cum skin. I'm pale. I'm trying to get sun. Okay? I'm trying.
I am happy we saw that cool snake and that egret. So that's it. Peace.
I am overweight. That is true. That is just true. And I thank you.
That is true. That is true. He got him on that one. Yeah, I think Brandon did like overemphasize certain points in order to, or include certain points just so that the public's reaction would be more severe, right? The end goal of this video is to, make no mistake about it, is to like destroy Parry's existence. That's very obvious. There is no utility in making a video responding to this because these were never like serious allegations that were seriously peddled by people outside of Parry. Now there are a few retards that are like so sides-cucked, they're actually like giving any credence to the claims made by Tom accusers and like spreading this claim that Brandon's a drug addict, which unless they have something other than her word that would substantiate that, I think like, yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing to go around peddling that claim. I think Parry knowingly spread misinformation? Yes. Do I think Parry is dishonest? Yes. Do I think Parry lies on his platform with zero consequence? Yes. But I think that Brandon is trying to wipe him off the planet. And even though I think, yeah, Parry should have seen some consequence in the form of like his viewership declining, I was not looking for this because I think a video like this will get him doxxed. It will get his family doxxed. It will affect, unironically, if they aren't already, people will be mass reporting his channel. And I know for a fact that Parry does have like things that are technically TOS violations in his old VOD. We all do. We all technically do, right? And if people are now going to be going through that and reporting it and shit, I think his channel very well could get terminated. And I think that Parry needs to like get his shit locked down for a while. If I were him, I would private every single, not to hide, but I would private every VOD just for the sake of, so it can't be like reported. Will you forgive Parry? In what sense? Forgive him in what sense? Like, forgive in terms of... Like, the thing is, everything that Parry's done, much worse has been done to me by people I'm presently cool with. The difference is, like, my assessment of Parry as a human being leads me to something where I just don't see any benefit in having any sort of association with him, right? Is he allowed to contact me? Is he allowed in my space? I believe in open discourse, right? He's allowed to talk in my spaces. He's allowed to contact me. He's allowed to, it's not like I'm completely, wiping him from the, but it's not in terms of like any sort of positive association. No. I don't think Parry is capable. I think Parry is like legitimately a borderline fucking sociopath. I think he knowingly peddles disinformation. I personally don't find him funny. I find him to legitimately be like a self-victimizing, like whiny fat bitch that has nothing going for him in life. And I have just no reason for the maintenance of any sort of bridge. I'll even say I forgive him for everything that's happened. I still just have no reason to want to be anywhere near that guy. But yeah, I mean, if that's what you mean by forgive, then that's probably not happening anytime soon, right? With that being said, Hold on. By the way, if you guys are supporting the stream so far, you can like, sub, tip. Really helps us out. We might legitimately make above Alabama's minimum wage this stream, which would be like super cool. Let's see. Apparently Parry's responding right now.
This season.
To 300 viewers. Apparently he's setting his shit to sub all. What is going on? This is a...
else is to foot the bill. This guy, this guy that defends pedophiles like Sam Hyde. This guy that defends pedophiles like Donald Trump. This guy that defends right-wingers as long as they're pedophiles. Pedophiles as long as they're right-wingers.
My advice to Parry is he shouldn't be live. He should be thinking about how he's going to respond, and he needs to private his shit. He needs to get his shit locked down before he does anything else. He's literally... I've never been through something like this, so I'm not going to... I've never been through something like this, so I'm not going to be able to know exactly what's going to happen, but I can infer some basic details, and then simultaneously... Anyone who is publicly in his chat, signal boosting what he's saying, you should have your own shit locked down, ironically. Because there is now a rabid mob that is, like, incited again. And it's going to get worse as people get out of work. I mean, it's still, the workday is still happening in California, like...
This guy that defends right-wing pedophiles and is all pull yourself up by your bootstraps is too retarded to buy health insurance, and we have to foot the bill. What a welfare queen. What a welfare queen. This is the modern-day welfare queen you're looking at, guys.
But luckily, Merrick was there to help me get better. They ordered extensive blood work for me and gave me a dedicated health coach along with a licensed team of clinicians to evaluate my blood work and provide me with the supplements I need to optimize my recovery. Also, I had been vomiting for months.
Right. And he didn't go to the hospital, by the way. He was vomiting for months, never saw a doctor until 2 months in.
And Merrick did a comprehensive evaluation of my
If only I was there to call the doctor.
GI tract and prescribed me the proper treatments to actually stop my nausea and vomiting. Most doctors dismiss my symptoms, but thankfully, Merrick has been there to give me real answers that actually work. I have truly enjoyed working with Merrick Health and strongly recommend any...
Is that even true? I thought he said that his mom got him a doctor. Maybe this is the sponsorship for the person that his mom found him. I don't know.
Anyone who wants to optimize their health to check them out. Now, back to Purple Pussy Gaming. This guy has made 7 videos...
Wait, he's not even talking about a doc. Wait, he's... Harry, what are we doing, bro? His mom got him a doctor. So why is he promoting a sponsorship for like a company that manages your supplements? Those two things are not contradictory. What the fuck are you doing?
Okay, well, half of these are live stream VODs of the videos, Brandon. You might be a bit confused, Brandon. I understand you were too busy doing nitrous and maybe Turkey Tom is like outdated, so he doesn't really understand how YouTube works. Those are live. So these are live streams. That's why it says live now. That's why it says live now. And these are videos. These are videos.
And live streams on his channel with my name in the title, with his most popular video by far being this one titled Why You Shouldn't Donate to Brandon Buckingham.
Yep.
And the thumbnail is a picture of me with the words liar, fraud, and incubated on it.
That was this guys, I'm not about that was Dicker's idea. That was Dicker's idea. That thumbnail, that particular thumbnail. It's a
Oh shit!
It's a a riff of the Gamma idea.
Dude, he's Dickers. Dude, why would Parry say this right now? If Parry wants to fuck me over, he would be giving me crap. What the
riff
fuck?
of the Gamma thumbnail, but that was Dicker's idea. I have to give credit where it's due.
One of my friends over on Patreon messaged me this video and told me that they wanted to see me react to it. Apparently it came out while I was in the hospital, so I figured I would go outside, get some sun, and see what this dumbass has to say about me.
Wait, so this guy is saying that before... No, never mind. I misunderstood. Also, by the way, while I have the opportunity, why the fuck does Brandon Buckingham's fanny pack here, as well as all of his merch, have the same colors as the map flag? Can we just talk about this briefly, guys? I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it is just interesting to me that the fanny pack...
Dude, next thing you know, they're going to be digging up stylos, likes.
In all of his videos has the same colors as the map flag. If you guys are familiar with the map flag. It's a flag for minor attracted people, aka pedophiles. Not sure what's going on there. Not sure why he decided to base his entire merch line over the pedophile colors, guys. King of straw matting? Wait, you're saying that these colors don't match, but I'm connecting them and they seem to match. I hate to say it, well, I don't know.
It
Just something I
doesn't.
wanted to bring up, guys,
It doesn't even match. It doesn't even match, dude. This guy's dead. This guy's dead. This guy. It doesn't even match. It literally doesn't even match. What are we doing? It's not even the same shade.
I had the opportunity. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Not sure what that's about, guys. He's signaling, but to who? But to who, so? But to who is he signaling? But to who is he signaling?
Let's get into it.
What the fuck is this? Is this like the director? Is this the like owner? Is this guy like retarded? Why didn't he use the actual video instead of just the coming up screen? The hospital set that you're using? He's like watching to make sure that you guys aren't ruining his set of a fake hospital?
Never asked for help before, but my heart is currently only working.
So what do I say? Is this a hospital? Do I say it is? No, I ask if it is. Is it yes or no? And the reason I ask is because it looks like a fake set.
15 to 20%.
Is it fake? Well, thanks to Brandon after 2 months, 2 months post when he should have, so 2 months after his GoFundMe, Brandon shows us, the medical documents. It seems to be a real hospital, it seems to be. But back then, we had no medical documents, so how was I supposed to know? Oh yeah, is that what the unplugged medical...
I don't have any, I've already debated him on my disagreements with Brandon's coverage. There's no new thing that I need to call on and debate him on, unless he insists on a call. Right now, if I am being honest, I do not want to, touch the poo right now. It's like, it's too nuclear, bro, right, at this second. And then what I would really be saying to him right now is end stream, get your shit, on lockdown, fucking... But if I said that to him, people would say, oh, I'm giving the angry Brandon fans ideas on what to then go and do. So I'm not stepping into this, but I appreciate the suggestion.
Equipment is saying 15 to 20%.
So yeah, the first 52 seconds of his video is a coming up teaser, which is just a compilation of all the stupidest things he says in the video, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's what coming up teasers are, compilations of things you say in the video. Good job, man. Good job.
He says my IV pump isn't plugged in. Yeah, I guess he's saying...
Was it or was it not? He can't even say that with a straight face because he knows...
He says that...
It's not even plugged in. He knows it's not even plugged in. He knows it's not even plugged in.
It's a fake hospital.
He does address that. He says it's battery operated.
I think he showed an image of my dad and asked if it was the hospital director.
Oh, that's your dad? Maybe you should have mentioned that in your video.
Which is just... so far, that was just really stupid.
But your dad's a hospital director?
I don't know.
Medical City Healthcare. Are you an MD? Feather jacket, I'm glad you bring this up. So the way
I'm sorry, what?
So far, that was just really stupid.
But your dad's a hospital in your video.
And asked if it was the hospital director.
Oh, that's your dad? Maybe you should have mentioned that in your video.
Which is just hospital director.
It's not even plugged in.
It's a fake hospital. I think he showed an image of my dad and asked if it was the hospital director.
Oh,
he showed an image of my dad and asked if that person was the hospital director. Wait, so he's saying his dad was a hospital director? What are we doing, bro? This is so retarded.
Your dad? Maybe you should have mentioned that in your
video.
video.
Thank you for the 10 G's. Hippo character spins around in chair, arms flung up in the air. We have just surpassed Arkansas minimum wage, ladies and gentlemen. So actually, we are the ones that are winning right now.
Yeah.
Which is just, so far, that was just really stupid.
But your dad's a hospital director?
I don't know.
Bet I'm gonna get his location right now. I want that 500. What?
Oh.
Medical City Healthcare.
Dude!
Are you?
You need to be, figuring out your life right now. This is, serious. This is very serious. This is, super... there are gonna be the most unhinged people online that are gonna be trying to figure out where your house is. What are we doing? You're comparing his fanny pack to the colors on the map, which first of all isn't even that funny. Second of all, what the fuck are you doing?
An MD. Feather jackets, I'm glad you bring this up. So the way I see it, feather jackets, I'm not a doctor.
There's people in this guy's chat talking about finding his location.
Sometimes, I call a doctor when I'm sick. But, thank you so much, Scorpion, for the 5 gifted. Extremely generous of you. Extremely generous of you, smile. Wow, thank you for the £10.
Yes, because the only thing people can do online negatively with your personal information is physically show up, of course. Yes.
Harry, do you confirm? Well, they know. Diggers contributed to the thumbnail, to be specific. Thank you very much. Sorry, there we go. So where was I? Right, so Feather Jacket, you're saying, are you an MD? No, I'm not a doctor. Sometimes I call a doctor when I'm sick. But the point is that Brandon is asking for money, hundreds of thousands of dollars he ended up getting. Brandon's asking for money on the premise that he's sick, but he's showing no evidence that a layman can actually engage with. And I think... Dude, why is Queenman in this video? What? And I think that is quite slimy. What kind of fucking name is Medical City Healthcare? That's like saying, this is the doctor hospital.
Would I date Parry if he lived nearby? No. Believe it or not, abdominally obese man children are not my type. Sorry.
This is the health hospital. What the? Also, this is just true. Medical City Healthcare. It sounds like a made-up name. It is a real hospital, but it sounds like a made-up name. Is this even a real hospital, man? Is this like something set in some fucking TV show?
All right, dude. This might be hard to get through. Why would it be a set? Why would I be on a set? But yeah, medical.
Well, you'd be on a set. You'd be scat. Fuck. You'd be on a set if you were scamming. Now, are you scamming? Yes, but not by using a fake hospital. By lying to your audience about whether or not you're a drug addict.
City Healthcare is a part of the Medical City Dallas.
Okay, what evidence do you have that he's a drug? And then I ask, and the only people are giving me is, oh, this like known liar that was actively like completely exaggerating details, lying by omission, and making shit up to contribute. No, once again, not everything was a proven lie, right? But you don't prove negatives. It's the burden of her to prove this shit, and the shit that could be disproven or substantial or her credibility could be tarnished on. It was, right? It was within the realm of possibility, right? Like, we can all come out of the Tom situation understanding that the word of the two accusers means absolutely jack shit. It's concerning if you're litigating the drug addict claim and it is their word that is going to be your only piece of evidence. I sure as hell hope you have something more than that to be making that claim with, right?
Healthcare system. So you can just kind of Google it. I didn't invent the hospital. And yeah, I guess they have branded cups. An 11-month-old baby who is...
Like, why does it matter? Like, it's insane. Why does it matter that you have a fucking kid? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, retard. Do your fucking job. Get your fucking wife to open an OnlyFans, you stupid piece of shit. You stupid fucking retard. Put some fucking work in. Don't make me fucking put your bill for your fucking degenerate fucking drug-addled retard fucking Los Angeles fucking networking lifestyle.
Oh, he's saying my wife should start an
He's from Texas, technically. I wasn't aware.
OnlyFans. What's this guy's deal? What's wrong with this guy? This is it. Hopefully everyone from Malta isn't like this.
So he just doesn't engage. Why should we foot your bill? You're a millionaire. Why should we foot your bill? This guy's so weird. This guy's so weird, dude. Sorry, I hit my glass. Dude, he is so pressed. It's been 4 months, and he is so pressed.
Okay, that is, you literally have the Perry mindset. It's either or. Okay, if we don't like somebody, we cannot give them any charitability on any point ever, and have to completely shift our standards in a manner to make this person look like accepting evidence that is completely flimsy, etc., to leave this with the worst interpretation possible, or we have to completely glaze somebody and defend them on everything. There's no in between. There's no neutral ground. It's so fucking mind raped.
He can't actually engage. That's insane.
People from Malta should disavow this guy, because this is a bad representation of your country.
My beautiful wife. They call me the menace of Malta for a reason. My beautiful stay-at-home wife. Oh, she's a stay-at-home wife, so she's not busy. Open up an OnlyFans. Get her to open up an OnlyFans. Get your wife to spread her fucking legs so Chris Bernard can foot the bill for your... That's why I brought up Chris Bernard, by the way. It's because he... But surgery.
In some countries, you get killed over saying something like that. I think that...
Right, so just like threatening me. Very cool, man. Well, you know...
That wasn't a threat. That was not a threat by definition. You could say there was maybe like an implicit, potentially it could be interpreted. There was no threat there. It's just like a lie.
It's just, what do you say? He's just being an embarrassing, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. They should kill you for saying that. Like, embarrassing loser behavior. Thank you so much, Eric, for the 10 gifted. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Greatly appreciated. I'm gonna skip this. That's against the US though, because he's saying, well, in some places they kill people. He's obviously encouraging his audience because,
Brandon, make this video for Tom to get back at Parry / no. No. It's pretty clear why he's making this. I think if Tom were directing it and it were truly based on some spotting it, Quinn would be a way bigger part of this video than he is. I don't think that this is, I think this is literally Brandon going after Parry. I don't, like, you've lost me. Once again, we're just gonna, like, vaguely claim some greater conspiracy with zero basis. The reason I don't accept this is because people have repeatedly tried to use this against me, including Parry. They've tried to repeatedly claim that I've been involved in some sort of coordination with Dior. Like, this whole, like, I'm just going to accuse you of coordination with no basis shit. I'm not using it. I'm not buying it, regardless of who it goes for, because I've watched people dishonestly try to use it against me.
Because obviously he's ass mad that I'm pointing out that his wife is unemployed. I didn't know at the time.
I'm not sweeping for Parry. Wait, I have said that Parry knowingly pushed disinformation. He's a disingenuous sociopath and a fat retarded fuck. In what manner am I sweeping for this guy? In what manner is there any sweep going on my end? You stupid fucking piece of shit.
I knew that his wife wasn't living with him because, obviously Brandon doesn't love his wife or kid. I would probably focus on that as opposed to the why does your wife open an OF. She might end up having to open an OF because Brandon, I guess, is being so neglectful towards his family. Who knows?
When someone is this stupid and hateful and just miserable, all you could do is like,
you stupid, you stupid. Amazing retorts there, Brandon. He had 4 months to record this. He went out into his little park here.
He plays an unflattering vid of Queeman, so his knowledge of Queeman might come from Tom, leading to the awareness of Queeman's like peddling of this, maybe potentially. But you're ascribing the motivation for this video to be a litigation of Tom's drama, and I'm telling you that if that were the case, Queeman would have been a way bigger portion than just a single unflattering video. So you're gonna have to revise your point to some extent, because you're claiming that's actually the driving motivating factor here. Thank you for the 2, Patrick. Aiden's great sweep is on. Okay, who am I sweeping for? I don't know anymore.
Water reserve here to film this, and this is what you're bringing. This is your A game. This is your top tier stuff, really, Brandon? Dude.
Hit him with the I'll pray for you.
Get a job, you fucking deadbeats. Get a job, you lazy loser.
Who I provide for.
No response. Just put send a video. Okay, I guess you don't have to respond to everything I say, but I thought you. Okay.
I woke up.
I provide for her. She's disabled. She can't. No, it's like Brandon is so mad. He's like sitting there in Premier, like his like hands are shaking, not because he's recovering from his sickness, not even because of the nitrous or other drugs that are in his body, but because he's just sitting there seething ass mad. That's this clip. Get her to open an OnlyFans, and then maybe you'll earn your fucking keep in this fucking world.
What's this guy's?
Everyone leave at 5 EST. Guys, we are organizing a Purpleparrygaming walkout.
Problem, dude. So this Purple Perry guy keeps talking about my wife doing OnlyFans, and it made me get on my phone really quick. Pretty quickly, the only thing that I can even find about him that isn't just videos he's posting is an interview he does where this guy's asking him why he follows and looks at Lolicon.
Dude.
It's Jiximi. Jiximi.
Dude.
Jimmy, we're so fucking in. W Jiximi, let's fucking go. This is recent too. That's like a recent video. If it's the one I think he's gonna.
What is the play here? You're gonna deny it or have a reason for it?
Mr. Jimmy, dude, this guy has been sitting like desperately wait. Oh, it's all good, Jimmy-O.
He's gonna like focus on this pivot now.
Shout out to Jimmy-O, guys. Follow Jimmy-O. W Jimmy-O.
Not even a denial is rough.
Is sitting on this for fucking. This guy's. This is his best. This is his dude. There's a link to Jimmy's channel, guys.
Material.
This one's epic. There's one called Iron Lily. That one you could even argue is lowly. But no.
Right. Shout out to Iron Lily. Shout out to twitter.com/Iron.
What's the defense gonna be?
Iron Lily, by the way.
No one calls me out on it.
I think it's Iron Lily. They make well, I explained it in the video. They make like awesome. I can't believe. At least he doesn't bring up the trans bulge, guys. At least he doesn't bring up the trans bulge. To be fair. Is Brandon really in chat? I don't see it. No, he's pretty.
Is he going to give any sort of like
Probably just say he's obviously watching this. He's obviously sitting there like fucking raging at his little phone. Too retarded to pull this up.
Okay, Dan, just so we're clear, your argument is the Tom drama was extensively covered by Chud, Parry, Cam, and Queeman. In his video, Brandon talks about Parry and Queeman. Therefore, the motivating factor for this video was getting back over the Tom drama. That argument is complete dog shit. Because you know what else Parry and Queeman were covering that got included and focused on this video? The Brandon Hospital shit, right? So that's obviously the motivating grievance.
Pulling this on his laptop would fall down into the creek, so he has to watch it on his phone to be safe. Anyway. Dude, none of my wildest dreams did I think that Jimmy would get a shot at this video.
Okay, this might be getting coordinated. Okay. Alright. Okay. Maybe this is being coordinated. Okay. I don't know. It's okay. This is sauce. This is very sauce. I don't know, Dan. I don't know. Dan could just be happy that I have no clue what's going on here, bro. Very suspicious.
That's
in chat. Bobby B asked.
Yeah, Iron Lily S. Yeah, they're like awesome. They make like, look at this cool, look at this cute.
It is a great day to hate everyone except Queeman. I like Queeman. It is a great day to hate everyone involved and just sit on your little island. I'm just sitting here on my little island and observing. It is truly a time to have no longer any connections to any of these people except Queeman. I'm just sitting here on my island, man. I'm just on my island.
Cute and funny artwork, guys. This is so awesome. They did like a Maltese Knight Templar anime girl. It was epic. It was epic.
Did you expect people to...
Wendy Plays? Is this Wendigoon's Let's Play channel? No. No, probably not, right, guys? Probably just a coincidental name. Anyway.
Question you following them?
No, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I didn't. But you see what I mean, right? It's like, this is by far the worst.
Yeah, this is. This is pretty bad.
No, I stand by it, is my point, you know?
And what's even more ironic in regards to Purpleparrygaming being into
I do stand by it. It's also, it's epic art, obviously, you know. I agree, listen, to be clear.
His response to the lolly allegations that if the general public was to accept were true, would walk away from this thinking he's a pedophile, is, I stand by it. Okay. Interesting strategy, I guess.
By the way, because I think Lollipop...
Worst gay op of all time, Perry got a boost out. Okay.
Cami Gross, I don't even want to say their name, but you all know who I'm thinking of that's been in chat before, and I've criticized them about this, but it's like, I think Cami Gross, that stuff wasn't particularly, I don't even know, I think it would just be chill, I don't even know it would be lovely. But yeah, I agree, it can be gross, and it's like, you know, there are people who have an unhealthy relationship with it, and there are like correlations between engaging in that and other unbecoming behavior. Brandon, you go to fucking hang out with gangsters who kill people. Do you know, actually, this all reminds me, do you know who the #1 pedophiles are, guys?
Out of, like, any opportunity to just be, like, making stuff up as you go, for Perry's, like, shitter streams that are being watched by, like, Hick Fury and Spud Gun or whatever the fuck, maybe that would be the time you could just make shit up on the go. This is the worst time for you to be doing this.
Not friend of the channel, I have spoken to them before. Giselle Ducati has a very good video about this, actually, guys. About how the #1 pedophiles out there are actually gangsters.
I have class. I said this earlier. I actually have to go. I don't know if I'll be back later. I might be. But, you know, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Obviously, there were wrongs here by Perry that I even debated him on. I think the response is, like, a bit is super disproportionate. In regards to it being coordinated, I haven't seen any, like, substantiation. I haven't seen, like, sure, you could maybe say this Dan Saltman tweet maybe proves that. I could equally see it as much as, like, Dan Saltman doesn't like any of the people involved because, like, interests are now aligning. He doesn't like these people, so he's happy to see them fall. I don't know about that. I don't know what... listen, I will say that at the moment I'm in a very safe spot. I'm not reveling in this. Certainly not reveling in this. I'm quite worried. And yeah, maybe for the content, it's a W. But everything else, not so much. I don't know where Queeman is. I don't know when he's planning on coming back, or when the last time he's like streamed is. But revel in it, coward. Maybe a month ago I might have. Spite has abandoned me. All spite has abandoned me. But all I know is, regardless of the outcome here, somebody I don't like is gonna lose. And you know, I don't know what to say. We'll have to see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you around. And yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. See ya.